Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Tyvis Powell, Jason Lloyd. Plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome, everyone, to the latest episode of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Along with G. Bush and Tyvis Powell, I'm Adam the Bull. We got Earl and we got Anthony behind the glass. You guys have been schooling me up on all the nuances of this massive rap beef that has taken over the entire country. Everybody is talking about this. Yes. It's on social media. This is bigger than that disastrous presidential debate. Everybody's talking about this, and that's all anybody wants to talk about. Whose side you're on? And we were talking about it after yesterday's show and before today's show.
Bull is Team Drake. I am Team Switzerland,
I just feel like everybody's picking on Drake. I feel bad for him.
Hey, you listen, there are little children singing not like us at bar mitzvahs, birthday parties,
they are.
Pool parties.
Did you see the Kids Bop version?
Oh, my God.
They got the Kids Bop version.
I mean,
of his song.
Of not like Taraji P. Henson did it at the BET Awards version.
I mean, he can't show up to stuff for at least 6 to 8 months now. Like, just don't pull up. The cool thing, he has dual citizenship. Yeah. He can just hop across the border back and forth.
Well, I thought he sold his house in Calabasas.
He's going to Houston, right?
I don't know.
He lives in Houston.
If I say my favorite rapper is Will Smith, do I lose credibility?
Yes.
Especially after we just seen Will Smith.
That is a very Caucasian thing to say.
We saw Will Smith
get jiggy with it. Get jiggy with it.
I don't think no black person look at him as a rapper.
No? What about Run DMC? That's credibility.
That's okay.
Right?
That's fine. You can let that one slide.
What about...
They're legends. Now, shout out to Will Smith.
Yeah.
Will Smith does have in the G. Bush top 100 songs of all time.
What?
Summertime
that is
one
a
of the greatest songs
in the summer
of all time. So we give him that.
All right.
So
that song has credibility. The rest of his stuff is out.
I guess he has parents don't understand.
Yeah.
Which is more of a.
I mean, if you're looking for a sentimental moment, you can play Will Smith, just the two of us.
I like that song too.
But
getting jiggy with it,
no.
Welcome to Miami.
Earl Sicko.
I like Welcome to Miami. I like it.
Willennium, Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West was bad. I'll give you that.
We also want to put on record that Bull listened to Love Yours by J. Cole.
He did.
And he said it was a good song.
I like that song.
Yes, he did. He listened to it.
I enjoyed that song. And then, but I was thinking about Run DMC because I remember when they collaborated with oh my God, what's his name? Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Walk This Way.
That was an awesome. I remember that video. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of rappers. Jay-Z got with Linkin Park.
Yeah, but that's much more recent. This is forever ago.
That seemed like forever ago.
Back then, that was so impactful because the only two black people we saw on MTV was Michael Jackson,
Lionel Richie.
And we don't really.
What? Lionel Richie?
We don't.
He don't count? Wait a second. My mind is blown here.
Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
I love Lionel Richie.
Actually, that was a creepy video.
It is a creepy video.
They can never come out with that anymore.
That's true.
We take Lionel Richie from the Commodores. Anything past Commodores.
It's no good. Stevie Wonder.
What about Stevie?
He's good.
People still trying to figure out if he's blind.
Peebo Bryson.
Remember
him back in the day?
Peebo Bryson, we excommunicated.
Peebo's gone? What happened to Peebo?
I got a favorite Peebo song.
Excommunicated.
1978, Field of Fire. Go listen to it.
We like that Peebo Bryson, but the Beauty and the Beast Peebo Bryson with Celine Dion?
Yeah, that's bad stuff.
He's excommunicated.
Who else? So Ray Charles.
Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles is first ballot black people. First ballot. Their blackness can it can never be questioned.
Then you just
first of all, I think Ray Charles grew up borderline And I'm like, I don't know if we was able to drink out of say water fountains when Ray Charles was doing it.
No, that's true.
That's
probably true. Yeah.
He went through a lot. Stevie Wonder, yeah.
Did you guys? And you guys know I'm a huge Billy Joel guy. Did you know that Ray Charles and Billy Joel did a duet?
I did not know.
Great song. Check it out. It's called Baby Grand. I love it.
Baby Grand.
They sang together on that. Yeah.
I'll listen to it on my
Great
ride
song.
down to Columbus.
Great song. Anyway, that was fun. But
Yeah, it was.
we got a ton to get to today. We've got, we'll talk some Cavaliers, of course, later in the show. We got some thoughts on the state of the city of Cleveland and all three teams' ability to keep good players, which
That was
has
a good
never
topic.
been the case. Yeah.
That's a good topic.
And, of course, the Guardians get back on track, and Gavin Williams will make his 2024 debut. But first, we go to Earl on the other side of the glass. Earl.
Before we get to the FanDuel read, I just want to send condolences out to all Cleveland Browns fans, to everybody in the Cleveland Browns organization. I'm a pet lover. My man Anna's a pet lover. We lost Swagger Jr. yesterday. And
I feel like we just lost Swagger Sr.
we just lost Swagger Sr. Now we
Yeah.
lost Swagger Jr. So
Sucks.
to everybody that loves Swagger Jr., affectionately known to all of us as SJ, man, RIP, man. I hope you up there in doggy heaven with your dog bones, man, just wilding out, man.
I feel like the next one's got to be Swagger the third, right?
It has to be.
Got to keep the tradition.
Got to keep it going, yeah.
Well, how many kids did Swagger Sr. have?
Oh, was this dog actually Swagger's kid?
That was his boy.
I thought they just called him Swagger Jr. I didn't realize it was his kid.
They didn't make.
So we
they
got to
didn't
find
let
out. Does Swagger Jr. have a kid too?
I was about to say Swagger Jr. didn't have a kid.
Yeah, I mean we got to keep these dogs active.
Let me find out he was a clone. I don't know how I feel about that.
Clone.
Let me figure,
You never know.
the timeline's not adding up.
Yeah, it's weird stuff.
You right after your pops, how old really are you, bro?
Yeah, what's happening here?
All right, y'all, let's get into it. Boy, you know the vibes, man. I love sports. I love them so much that I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer games. And the sports aren't really sportsing like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. This summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone, every day, all summer long. Head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS and start making the most of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball.
Earl, speaking of Major League Baseball, guys, the Guardians, after that bad weekend series against Kansas City, began a homestand last night. It was against a bad White Sox team, but we know that bad White Sox team has played decently against the Guardians. It's one of the few teams that the Guardians have not played particularly well against. And the White Sox again last night were very feisty. The Guardians, they had a 1-0 lead early. The Guardians were up 2-1 and then 3-1. The White Sox tied it at 3. The Guardians went up 6-3. White Sox tied it at 6. And then the Guardians, as you said, Tyvis, had the walk-off win.
I was watching that game. I thought, all right, in the first inning, because I'm always locked in, because it's always on at the radio station. So I'm doing the radio and I'm watching the game. And when they went yard, I think it was the second batter went yard.
Yep.
I was like, oh, shoot.
Yep.
Man, here we go. But then Cookie pulled it together.
Yep.
Second inning, Cookie came out there, sat them all down. And I'm like, all right, Cookie actually giving us a decent start here. He was able to pitch a couple of innings, got 7 strikeouts, so that was good. But he did give up a couple of runs. After that, you got to see the Guardians finally starting to hit. Guys got on base, guys started hitting. And I was like, all right, so the batting is still coming back alive. They pull away, they go up 3-1. But then, like you say, I look up again, it's like as soon as they score, it's like the very next inning, the White Sox come right back, answer right back. I'm like, these guys is in a dogfight now. We got to really try to pull this thing out. And it get to 6-6, and I'm sitting there like, if they lose to the White Sox, it's just the White Sox must be really good against the Guardians. And then, obviously, they get the hit at the end to walk it off at the end, and we ended up winning and pulling it out. So I was happy about that. Excited to see what happens today because, with Carlos Carrasco, he's towards the bottom, which as of right now, to be honest with you, he might be the third or fourth best pitcher we got right now.
Last 3 starts for Carrasco. He's pitched 17 innings. He's given up 6 runs, so that's an ERA just over 3. He's given up in his last 3 starts just 14 hits and only 3 walks. So he's pitched well, and he has how many strikeouts?
He had 7. I know he had
I think he has 17 strikeouts.
I'm about to say he got a lot.
Last 3 starts, he's pitching pretty well.
He had that slider working yesterday.
Yeah.
It was breaking down and away. But I'll tell you what, I don't know where they got this kid from. That Luis Roberts kid.
Oh yeah,
he's a great talent. He hasn't been able to stay healthy.
2
I
hits.
mean, I'm like, man, this kid is a big kid, man.
But you know who showed up yesterday?
Who was that?
Schneeman.
Oh no, Schneeman.
Schneeman came out there.
You know what it is.
I was like, ooh.
His name is not Schneeman, and my man. His name is Wingman. You know what I'm saying? The ultimate Wingman showed up, man. He turned on the fastball inside. Hey, by the way, he was going through a little slump. Like, they had figured him out a little bit. Like, they was like, oh, no, we're not hitting none of the zones that you like. But he turned on that pitch, and it was crazy. Like, I thought, the bats came around, and you know who I thought played a real nice game?
Ooh.
Jimenez played a nice game. He threw that strike, that one hop to the plate.
Yeah.
Oh, my
That relay cutoff.
God.
His defense is always on.
Oh,
point.
my God. That was the best throw I see. He put it right where the guy needed to be.
And the fact that it's this little one-hop game. I'm like, when did you stop one-hopping these things? Like usually, and then I think you take a look at the defense and the way he's been out here moving around. I'm like, man, he played a really nice game. They didn't have I thought Naylor. I liked that he went opposite field.
Yeah. But he got think about it. Quan, Jose, Naylor, and Fry, who have been their 4 best players, went 1 for 16 last night.
Right.
They've been doing
Naylor got
that.
the only hit. He scored a run. Fry got on base, I think on a fielder's choice or that error.
They've been
and
doing
he scored
that.
a run.
This like the second or third time in like the past maybe 3 games that they did.
And those guys have been mostly so hot.
But then Freeman hit a home run though.
No, I didn't say Freeman.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
Fry, Naylor,
Fry. Gotcha.
Ramirez and Quan.
Yeah.
Those guys. Yes, Freeman hit a home run, which was big. Schneeman hit a home run. Freeman and Schneeman.
Yeah.
Going deep.
Yeah. Hey, that sounds like a deli in Brooklyn. Don't it? Like they got the best pastrami in the game.
Where you going? I go to Freeman and Schneeman.
It does.
I need a smear of cream cheese on the sandwich here.
That is
A couple of conditions. Let's go.
They got it right. They
By the way, it was funny because Kenny Atkinson the other day. We'll get back to the Guardians in a second, but Kenny Atkinson said, what word did he use? He used a word that only Jewish people normally use, or people from New York. Mm-hmm. And he is from New York. And I was like, is Kenny Atkinson Jewish? I'm not sure. I tried to look it up. I couldn't find anything. And I was like, it's probably just because he's from Long Island. Mm-hmm. I can't even remember what the word was. But he said it's a word that people that are either not Jewish or not from New York usually pronounce it wrong. Mm-hmm. I can't think what the word is. Anyway.
And I guarantee before they started or after they finished, McNuggets had a story about Long Island.
Oh, 100%.
And they probably know the same Division 2.5 basketball coach, like
scout
somewhere.
You're actually right because McNuggets found out right before the interview that his dad knew Kenny Atkinson's brother.
Told you. Look, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy. See?
Yeah. It's something about Emerson, right? Yeah. You know how Mount Union has all these connections to football?
Yeah. Or Syracuse Emerson on the radio.
Yes. It's Emerson for basketball.
It's crazy.
So it's good that he went there. He's got all these connections. But a good win for them, because Carrasco did enough.
Yeah.
And it was a day where the bullpen didn't pitch that well. Cade Smith and Hunter Gaddis, who've been obviously excellent, both struggled yesterday and blew that 6-3 lead.
Go ahead.
As you've been looking at Cookie's last couple of starts, are you okay if he was the 4th pitcher in the playoffs?
No. I'm okay if he's their 4th I'm okay with him as their 5th pitcher in the regular season.
Bullpen.
5th pitcher.
So
not in the playoffs.
No. Not even after what he's been showing you these last couple?
No, because it won't last, probably. But he's helping them right now.
I'm just trying to justify, just in case they don't make a trade for a pitcher. I'm just trying to see what they see. I'm just trying to see what they see. That's all.
Yeah, no. We can't have that.
I'm getting myself ready.
I don't like that, Tyvus.
No.
I'm just getting my mind ready. What?
Do you, when you saw yesterday, something happened, and I was thinking about it when I saw it. Last inning, the closer for the White Sox comes up, right?
Right.
It looks like he gets his cleat caught in the ground.
Yeah.
In that situation, I'm thinking, how would you coach your pitcher? He tried to hold the pitch and he actually threw it in the backstop, grounded it. Mm-hmm. How would you teach that from a standpoint of if that situation happens and you just don't want to give up, because the tying run winning one was at second, he moves to third,
right? And that was the game. That was the game. By fly, yeah.
So would you tell them to not follow through with that, or would that have been called a ball?
It would have been a ball,
and he would have got it anyway.
Yeah.
So or if you threw it, and what if you the ball just. You didn't put enough energy on it, and it just let the ball fall a couple faces.
It's a tough spot because it happens so fast. I don't even know if you have time to consciously think, oh, I should do this. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. That was a weird spot. The Guardians got lucky. It happened.
That was game right there.
Yeah, that was it.
I was like, man. I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, well, if he had the presence of mind to say, okay, well, I can't stop all the way throwing the ball.
Let me just throw
a little dribbler.
You should have skipped it in
how would they
he
judge
might have
that?
taken off for third anyway, though.
Right. Because it's in no man's land between the pitcher and the catcher. So
yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was it. Sucks for you, dog.
By the way, I think I don't remember if I texted you guys this. I can't remember. But so last night in our Little League game, we lost and got eliminated from the playoffs.
Oh man,
was it a close game?
No. I mean, it was. The problem was we gave up 4 runs in the first inning.
Yeah,
and then we did all right after that. And then in the top of the fourth, so it was still 4-0 in the top of the fourth. And we had bases loaded, nobody out. And we had
that's a dream come true.
And so we had some good hitters coming up. You know, and I was like, okay, this is our chance to get right back in it.
Yeah.
So my next hitter, it's a pop up right at the plate. It falls, and the umpire says it's a fair ball, and they get to force it home. I thought it was foul.
Don't y'all got the infield fly rule?
So the infield fly rule's got to be past the pitcher's mound. So anyway, so now it's bases loaded, 1 out.
Yeah,
so Aaron was up next, and he knocks in the run, the only run of the game. But the throw went wild, and I told him to run to second. And it was a mistake because he didn't get there in time. And I was blaming myself. And we ended up not scoring another run because he got tagged out right before our second runner scored. And had I not sent him, it would have been 4-2. And then we still would have had another runner on third.
But you're trying to be aggressive.
I'm trying to be aggressive.
You got to give yourself a chance to win.
But then we just couldn't, after that inning, we just couldn't score again. And so it was close for 4 innings.
So it's 4-2 the final?
4-1.
4-1?
There, but they tacked on 3 runs late and beat us 7-1. But the reason I bring it up, I tried the hidden ball trick.
Did it work?
It did not. But I tried it. I've never seen it. I've never done it or tried it ever. I've never seen anybody do it.
It's when I was playing Little League.
Yeah.
And I was in 6th grade maybe, so I was playing Little League. And we were playing in the championship game.
Yeah.
And we had the bases loaded. And they called the huddle.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the huddle, and I see the dude get the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I tell everybody, y'all stay on base. They doing the hidden ball trick. Do not leave the base. And that actually worked out, and we ended up winning the game. Yeah. So it was perfect for us.
We did it after a timeout also. My son Aaron, who plays third base, he had the ball in his glove, and I was hoping the kid would lead off third, even though you're not allowed to lead.
Yeah.
But I thought this kid's been really aggressive on the bases, so I was hoping he'd take a step off the base for a second. And Aaron was standing right next to him. They had no idea he had the ball. The kid never got off the base, and after 10 seconds, I was like, Aaron, call timeout. So he called timeout and threw the ball back to the base.
And did the other team be like, yeah! Good heads up, Johnny! Way to be in the game, Johnny!
That's what they do for real.
Yeah, like you didn't score no runs, man.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's deflating too when you're young. When you hear another group of young men just screaming, like, "Yeah, he struck out. And you didn't catch us fooling." Like,
nope, we didn't do it. I tried. I was pulling out all the stops.
All the stops.
Anyway, but. It was a good win for the Guardians because they, coming off that bad weekend, it would have been easy for them to, and the way they blew the lead a couple of times in this game. But there were some signs yesterday of things you're concerned about. The bullpen getting worn down because they're being overworked. Emmanuel Clase pitched again. He pitched in the 9th. He got a win instead of a save this time. But in the end, it was a good win, and they get to, I think they're 23 over. 50. I can't even read now. 53 and 30. Yeah, 23 over. The lead is 6 over. Oh, there it is. 6 over Minnesota, 8 over the Royals. Twins won again. Royals did lose yesterday.
31 over Chicago. Sheesh.
31. I mean, that's
You think they gonna trade Luis Roberts?
I think they have to be open to trading anybody. They're so bad and so far away, and he's injury prone. So
you would you trade for him if he was the Guardian?
I mean, I would. If I were the White Sox, I wouldn't trade him to the Guardians, but you would have to give up a very high price. But to me, it would be worth it. I mean, the problem is, again, he's always. Let me look.
I didn't know he was a leadoff hitter.
Man.
He did well yesterday. He's
great.
actually been doing well the last couple of games.
he gets hurt a lot.
You know what I thought about?
Yeah.
I've been formulating this theory and hypothesis, Tybus. I don't believe I don't think you can factor in injuries into trades.
Why?
I feel like if you trading for a player and they're injured like now, like okay, if they came off a catastrophic injury, right? Mm-hmm. But if they just missing like 3 or 4 games every year, or they be like, oh, I missed some time during the middle of the season, like
you wouldn't factor.
I agree with you.
It's like what are you gonna do? Like
last year he actually played most of the season. He played 145 last year. The 2 years before that he played 98 and 68, and this year he's only played 31 out of 80 something games.
Are you referring to all sports or just baseball?
I'm referring to all of them.
I wouldn't factor in that.
I just don't feel you can predict injuries. Like it's
right. There are guys who are injury prone that all of a sudden they get healthy. Vice
People
versa.
predict that Denzel gonna get hurt every year for the Browns.
No, but I think I get what you're saying. Your point is like, don't not trade for Luis Robert because he's been injury prone.
Yeah, like
yes, he's gonna. And in baseball, yeah, I mean he might miss some time.
Good.
Listen, he's played 31 games this year. His numbers are, they're fine. He's got 9 home runs, which is good, really good in 30 games.
Yeah.
But he's only got 14 RBIs. His OPS is 766, which is solid but not spectacular. He's usually been a very good player when he's been healthy. He was an all-star last year.
He needs a change of scenery.
Well, I think everybody on the White Sox needs to change the scenery. He's under team control. He would not be a free agent until he's only got 2 more no, there's 3 more years after this year.
Would you be okay if the Guardians traded for him, and that's all they did? They didn't address the pitching?
I mean, again, it's like your wife, asking you, hey, can we get a date? And you never go out. And she's like, well, I'll give you a date once this week.
Yeah.
And then she's not gonna complain about that one date. Like she gonna take the date. I'll take the kid.
So he'll take.
That's not. That doesn't even. Simon, that really wouldn't even make sense.
I'm gonna take that. Like,
So would you take?
No, I would not, because. And first of all, if you went to get Luis Robert, you'd have to give up so much. That means you're all in. Mm-hmm. So why would you not fix your biggest problem, which is starting pitching? That just doesn't make any sense.
So let me ask y'all this question, man.
Here you go. You messing with the hats.
By the way,
it's good.
Former Guardian Aaron Savale was traded today to the Brewers.
That's all that.
He has not pitched well this year.
I need
Jay Crawford is somewhere like bad.
I need y'all to help me out with this. The Trevor Bauer thing.
You want him back?
They're not going there.
You want him back?
Nobody's going there.
But boo.
I would sign him as much as I loathe him.
Is Clevenger still a free agent?
What's that?
Is Clevenger a free agent?
No.
Somebody
This is the thing. This is almost like the nuclear thing, right? I always talk about, like, you gotta be like, hey, look, you talk about you need somebody. Hey, there's Imani Bates, right? People, oh God, but hey, you need a pitcher.
Yeah, they hate him.
But wasn't he not good? Didn't he go overseas and pitch and he wasn't doing?
No, he's pitched great overseas. Doesn't mean he's still going to be. I don't know that he could still be good enough in the majors. He probably can.
So let me give you this, Bull.
Yeah.
I'm a businessman. You a businessman. We all businessmen.
Yes, we are.
We could get in an argument on the show today, and right when we're done, Earl, I have to joke and get out of here because we getting this money. Now, if I was a businessman and I'm looking at my team and it's an opportunity to make my team better, they already got enough goodwill built up. There ain't no cases against them. And do you really think, like, after he was acted up, you think he's going to act up again? No, he's going to be a model citizen because he wants to stick around. Why would you not
I think the Guardians just were tired of his act, and they think he's a cancer in the locker room. I think that's part of it. I don't know why another team that's never had him before wouldn't sign him.
The last thing we seen,
it seems like he's never.
Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
That Stephen Vogt, right?
Yeah. Don't care about that.
He don't. Yeah. He wasn't. Hey, bro, that was with Tito now. This is with me.
I would get to answer your question. As much as I loathe him, I despise him more than probably any player in the league.
And don't get me wrong, he's not my favorite cup of tea. What I'm just saying is, like,
we're trying to win. We're trying to win here.
That's it. I would give it a chance. Now, I'm not going to kill the Guardians for not doing it. They may even know. I think there's a lot of stuff about him out there that even we don't know.
Right? It'd be very.
I know a lot, but
it wouldn't be expensive to sign him, right?
No, it'd be
you take
the league minimum.
And if it don't work out, you could cut him.
Right, but I think we've already seen that nobody's signing him.
You say that. You know how leagues are. Colin Kaepernick was the same way for the NFL.
Look. There's a lot of things that I say that a lot of people wouldn't say. Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things and I'm just gonna be real with you because, like, I feel like if you got a strong enough organization and you got enough people around you, and the Guardians have been known to make solid moves.
Yeah.
They ain't never been in no trouble. They ain't never took no shorts. Right? They above board. And they come out and say, look, this guy.
Yeah. I will say that the Guardians have built up a lot of goodwill with the fans.
A lot of it.
And there are some fans that would be perfectly fine with Bauer. There would be a lot of fans that would be pissed if the team signed Bauer. Because the Guardians are a good story right now. People feel good about the team. They don't feel guilty about rooting for anybody on the team. They're a likable team, and I think that's part of the thing here. But from a pure talent standpoint, I would sign him if I were the
I would like them a little more.
If the Guardians did that, this would be the time to do it because as of right now, all the teams are. Yeah, Cleveland has been known for rehabbing a lot of guys.
But they're not going to do it.
A lot of guys have come to Cleveland and rehabbed and got their act together. So
I mean, heck, Kareem Hunt, Josh Gordon,
he didn't get his act together.
He never did. It's a dang shame he came up 10 years later. 10 years later, Josh, he would have been good.
He could have did it all he wanted.
I'll tell you something. I mean, listen, let's face it. Peyton Hillis is batshit crazy. I mean, and we brought him in. Devon Bess, he was nuts.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, Bull, I had a question for you before we move on. Daniel Schneemann, in the time that he spent in the big leagues this year, he's batting .262 with 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, and an OPS of .864.
Yeah.
All the hype early on behind Kyle Manzardo. We've seen a few of the prospects play. Why has he seemingly performed the best so far?
I don't know that anybody can answer that. Baseball's in a lot of ways is just random. It's hard to say why he's done particularly well. First of all, his positional flexibility as opposed to like a Kyle Manzardo is going to get him in at the plate more, give him more opportunities because he can play anywhere pretty much. I mean, I think you could throw Schneemann at any position. If they threw him at first base today, I'd be like, okay, let's see what he can do. And with Manzardo, it's first base or it's DH. So there's just. It makes it harder to get him regular work, and that makes it tricky. So I think that part of it is they've been able to give him a lot of work because he fills the dots, right? Like, I want to give this guy a day off, let's put Schneemann there. I want to give this guy a day off, let's put Schneemann there. So, and it's fun to say Schneemann, let's face it. I mean, he sounds like the name is like a character from Revenge of the Nerds.
What was he playing, right field yesterday?
I don't even remember what he played.
I think he played shortstop yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah, right.
He played right field.
He's like Weebay. Like he's muscle. He could be on the block. He's a general. Like he knows the rules. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
Like, and he don't tell.
But didn't he was in the minors for quite some time, right?
He was, yeah.
He did like what 3-4 years?
He's a seasoned minor leaguer.
How many years has Manzardo been in minors?
Not that many.
Okay,
He's
so that
older,
maybe that
but-
got something to do.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
it.
yeah. Listen, Manzardo didn't get enough of a chance to, there's been a lot of great players, all-time great players, who struggled when they first came to the majors. It's not uncommon at all. And Schneemann might just be a guy who's just a decent player his whole career, doesn't even get any better. I don't know. He's got some talent. I like the way he I like to say finds the ball. Like Stephen Kwan is great at finding the ball. He sees where the ball is, he gets the bat to the ball. It sounds simplistic, but there's something to that. And I think Schneemann has a little of that in him, which is probably part of the reason why he's done so well.
I know what I love about Stephen Vogt and what he was able to do, and I don't know if it's just him or the organization.
Yeah.
He's been able to turn over some cards, and we got an opportunity to see all these young dudes.
Yeah.
I don't believe if Tito was here, you wouldn't have, we just put a list of 4 guys up that we've gotten a chance to see.
Yeah.
And you still get to see Rocchio. You got to see Arias. You get to see some of these other younger picks. You getting to see people.
Tyler Freeman.
Hey, let me see what they got.
I bet you Miles Straw would have been here
still
if Tito was still here.
And there still would have been a backlog of guys, and Manzardo would have never been up. No. I don't think you would have saw him.
And Miles Straw sucks in AAA. I mean, he's not hitting there either.
That's sad. That's really sad.
Anyway, Earl, let's talk about this list. Go ahead. Why don't you explain it?
Yeah, before we get into that, don't forget the Cleveland Guardians is at home versus the Chicago White Sox tonight. And if you get off work and you're looking for something to do, you can find last-minute deals on the Game Time app. You save up to 60% off by buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. All you have to do is download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Again, that's Game Time if you're looking to go to the Guardians game tonight. So, Bull, on the Bleacher Report, we found a list yesterday that's ranking the top 25 players in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I'm going to bring mine up.
And when you get a chance, you can bring up the top 10 of this list. Our very own Jose Ramirez is 7th, but also Stephen Kwan rounded out this list at 25. So just thoughts on where Kwan and Ramirez is at. Do you think the position that they're ranked is too high, too low, or just right?
So we got to keep taking into account.
Remember, this is just based on the first 3 months this year.
And it's based on the first part of the 2024 season.
That's it. Nothing else.
The only one.
Obviously, there's a couple guys in that list that wouldn't be anywhere near a top 10. Normally
I
based
agree.
on careers.
The Jose at 7, I would have him probably 6, maybe 5th. But Bobby Witt Jr. has been balling this year, so I can't. If you want to put Bobby Witt in front of Jose, I'll hear you on that one. But I definitely have him just a little, maybe a tick or 2 higher.
Due to the fact that the Guardians are in first place, it's weird because now I've had an opportunity to watch a lot of these people play. We just saw Gunnar Henderson. You said, Bobby Witt Jr. has been balling. Some of these guys are National League guys.
Yeah.
For me, I like the fact if you look at it, there's a lot of American League dudes in here, and if you look at it, Jose could be top 3 in an American League. I don't got a problem with the list in general. Aaron Judge is
the names on the list.
The names on the list is crazy. If you in there with Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, man, come on, Bryce Harper, Mookie. These are household names.
Henderson,
I'm cool with it.
I would have had him 1 spot higher ahead of Durant. Durant's had a great first half, but I think Ramirez's first half has been better. But yeah, I mean, Jose is where he is. He's not going to win the MVP most likely. Aaron Judge is going to win it. Gunnar Henderson's right there. He's had a tremendous season, and his teammate Juan Soto, or Judge's teammate Juan Soto, has been a great addition for the Yankees. But these guys are all playing great. Seth Lugo's been an incredible story for Kansas City. I can't believe I traded him 6 weeks ago.
Dang, bro. You was in second place. You still in second?
Messing up, don't you?
You still in second?
Yeah.
Okay.
You cut David Fry. You traded Lugo.
Like that. I'm still in second place.
So would you be in first if you had those two? Or the first place dude is balling like that?
David Fry hasn't been as great since.
Not as of lately.
I do, but I also have Bryce Harper.
Okay.
Did he get
and
hurt?
I have Bryce Harper and Shohei Ohtani.
Didn't Bryce get hurt?
He did. He's gonna. It's hurt. I was pretty disappointed in that. I need him back. But I have Harper and Ohtani, so they've kind of carried things for me. But yeah, and then Stephen Kwan being 24th or 25th. Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Even after missing, what, a month?
yeah, a month. But the batting average so high, although it's dropping, he's down to the 360s
don't even
now.
talk about that, boy.
You knew there was no chance he was going to hit.
No, I
400.
believed it in my heart. I believed that he was going to do it, and yeah, it's looking slow right now. But you know what?
Yeah.
There's still a lot of time left. You know, he might
Yeah.
catch a hot streak, and he might not never strike out again. How about that?
But it's possible.
he might,
By the way,
he might
Steve
get on
said I
every
need to
time.
be fired from my little league team and picked up by a new team, which is happening because my fall ball is starting. So now
Which is happening.
Kim Crane is out, and now I'm the manager of the River Bandits. I'm actually managing 2 different River Bandits teams. And we're going to have the UCSS logo on our sleeve there, G. Bush. What do you
That's
think of that?
nice, man.
What is Steve
Let me
know
show you
about
guys this
Teddy
real quick.
Pendergrass? What he know
He's
about?
from Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Teddy P.
I think I need to let it go.
Teddy Pendergrass, yeah.
Looks like another love TKO.
I got to look for the uniform.
One
We're
of
going
the
to
sad-
have the UCSS sleeve on the logo.
One of the saddest
On the,
songs of all time is "In My Life" by Teddy Pendergrass.
What was that?
One of the saddest songs of all time is the video from Teddy Pendergrass, "In My Life."
Do you even watch videos anymore? of music?
No, I can't remember that video.
Go check it out. It's very sad.
When the last time
Did
you
they
watched
even
a
make
music
videos?
video? Yes.
Yes.
I remember
The
when.
Not Like Us video just was in Compton.
Did it drop?
It ain't dropped yet, but you obviously.
Yeah, but
I ain't watched the video in a while, but watch that one.
But when I was a kid, when you were a kid, I mean, you're younger than me, but you're old enough to remember, I mean, the MTV was just videos. At one
MTV
point.
Jams.
Now,
Yo MTV
there's a
Rap.
great documentary on it's on YouTube about how MTV went from songs to TRL to reality to now it's just 24 hours of ridiculousness.
What do you mean, like what?
Like that's the name of the song.
Oh,
The show?
Rob Dyrdek has a show called Ridiculousness.
Ridiculous.
And only thing MTV does is run Ridiculousness
that's it?
24 hours a day on the loop.
I don't even know. I don't know.
You don't know
I
everything?
put MTV on.
It's
That's not true.
fascinating. Go
That's
watch
not
it.
true.
Really true?
It's really
That
true.
is not true. I just watched the Wayne
By
Bros
the way,
last night.
What, on MTV?
Was it on MTV
No,
too?
it wasn't.
It was on MTV.
Is
It might have been on
VH1 still
MTV
around?
too.
Huh?
Is VH1 still exist?
Yeah, it's still on VH1. VH1
But
still
they
a
don't.
thing.
But VH1 is more reality. They don't show videos
okay.
either.
I gotta look
But you
that
know,
up.
all those VJs from back in the day are now on like Sirius XM doing
Carson
DJ.
Daly.
Well, not Carson Daly, but like I don't know, the ones from way back in the day.
You talk about
Daly.
Downtown Julie Brown?
like
Oh,
well,
ridiculous.
she's on America's Got Talent, right? Isn't she on that?
I'm not sure. I think they might have
I
got.
can't remember the names, but they DJ on like the 80s station.
Didn't they replace her with that Spice Girl?
Oh, I think you're right. I don't know. I don't watch any of those shows.
I need to know what's on MTV right now.
It's ridiculousness.
Stop saying that.
Strange.
Like
It's Catfish.
go listen.
Catfish, the TV show, is on right now.
Yeah.
Man.
I think we're good with that list. So I think we should go to tonight's pitching matchup now, Earl.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Get a read in
Yeah.
first. As always, Bull, I love sports, man. I love them so much. I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer games, and the sports aren't sporting like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. This summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day all summer long. Head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS and start making most of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Bull,
Yeah.
It's about damn time. It is about
Yeah.
damn time.
Gavin Williams, we thought he might be initially back in the second week or third week of the season. It's taken more than half the year. We're 2 weeks away from the All-Star break. 2 weeks or 3? Yeah, 2 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks from today is the All-Star game. 3 weeks from yesterday is the All-Star game. But Gavin Williams will finally make his 2024 debut. Are you guys excited to watch him pitch tonight?
Yeah, because the future of the Guardians season really rests upon this, man. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go off of what he does tonight. I want to see some good stuff, just to see some velocity, see some control, some command, all of those things, see him get some strikeouts. That would definitely boost me. But I'm not going to judge. I got to see him get back into the groove of things. Obviously, his first time. This is a good team to go up against, even though they've been hitting really well. So I think he'll get a good challenge there. But if he get a bunch of strikeouts, and he starts to look really good today, and then maybe his next couple of starts, it makes me feel good about when they get to the postseason.
G, you locked in?
I need to see. I won't get really super excited to like 2 or 3 starts, right? Because the first one, he's going to be on a super duper extreme pitch count. Any discomfort, anything, he's not going to be in the game. The second outing, it might be a little longer. I won't get to see exactly what I'm looking for Gavin Williams until about 3 to 4 games in. But I'm excited the fact that I do get a chance to see him. I don't want them to use this, and I don't like when people say that we're going to use this as our trade acquisition. We're going to use that.
It better not be.
And you're like, him coming back is almost good as his trade. No, it's not.
No, it ain't.
We need him to be a part of it. But I'm anxious to see 2 things I'm always looking for. I know the command might not be there. That comes with time and seasoning. But I want to see if he got that explosiveness on his fastball. I want to see if he got the break on the breaking pitches. And then I actually want to see him kind of work out of some stuff. Like if you walk a guy or got a couple guys on, I want to see you be able to work out of that and let me know like you back ready to go. But in general, I'm gonna say I'm a G. Bush happy face 6.5.
Last year as a rookie, Gavin Williams made 16 starts. He had a 3.29 ERA, pitched 82 innings, 81 strikeouts, which is really good, 37 walks, which is too high. You see the numbers there. A number that I love, 66 hits allowed in 82 innings. That is very impressive. 8 homers, a little high. I would like to see him cut that down. He's got elite stuff. So in terms of his talent, the way the ball comes off his hand, he's I think even a pinch more talented than
Bybee.
Jeez, what is wrong with my head? I feel like I'm forgetting everything today. This might be the first step to me going down an ugly road here. My brain is I could not think of Tanner Bybee there for a second. His name just went out of my head.
I got you. Bybee.
That is scary.
Having a Joe Biden moment, Snickers.
Yeah.
You need a 3 Musketeers.
I need something. God, maybe I need some crack. I don't know what kind of. That'll probably take me.
That's a different. That means you just letting the wheel go. Take the wheel.
Let's go. By the way, last night before the game, I'm always with my son. I'm like, let's make sure he rests today because we got a playoff game tonight. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And my wife goes, let's just get him a Mountain Dew. And we bought him a Mountain Dew, and he's like, charge those batteries. Let's go.
Hey, man.
Is that bad parenting? I'm talking about smoking crack and I'm buying my kid a Mountain Dew.
Listen, in other news, Kendrick Lamar just called me and said, Party's still playing with his nose.
But circling back, and hopefully my memory doesn't fail me the rest of the show.
Ted, he got better stuff than
Gavin
Bybee.
Williams has even slightly better stuff than Bybee, and it's not because Bybee's stuff is great. I think Gavin Williams' stuff is even better. And I think those two can be an excellent 1-2 punch. The rest of this season, the next bunch of years, the playoffs, I expect them both to be great. It's going to take some time. You're right. He'll be on a really strict pitch count today. He's going to have to be very, on top of things to be able to get through enough innings to potentially clarify for a win. I think it'd be tough for him to pitch 5 innings today unless he's extremely efficient with his pitch count, because they may put him on a 60 pitch count or, who knows. 75, I would think, the most. But I'm excited to see him. I want to see how the ball looks coming out of his hand, because last year there were times where he looked so dominant. He had a couple of bad starts early, especially when you're a young player. But it's a good pitching matchup because Eric Fetty, who's come back from, I think he was pitching in Japan or Korea before this year, has done a nice job. And he could be a potential target for the Guardians too, Fetty. So that's a good pitching matchup. I'm looking forward to the game tonight.
Do you believe... So, I'm in baseball mode, which means I'm in time machine trade mode.
Okay.
Is there anybody out there? My thought process is this. You got Gavin Williams, you got Bybee.
Yeah.
They're pretty much the same cat. Like, their stuff is a little, they're not the same body type or whatever, but caliber of upside, right?
They're both excellent talent with excellent upside.
Now, if you know the Guardians, you probably know you can't sign both of them if they ball out or their trajectory.
Right. Yeah.
How much could you get for Gavin Williams? Like, right, he's been a little injury prone this year, but he has the upside. He's still young.
You gonna trade him?
We gonna trade him now?
Well, hold on. I'm just saying. What is there a player out there? Because I need to gauge how good he is by this.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I got it.
Is there a player out there that who could you get for him
in a trade?
Straight up.
Straight up?
Like, I'm gonna give you Williams. What type of player could you get back?
First let me clarify and say that's tricky because usually if I'm trading Williams, I'm trading him to a contending team, so they're not going to trade me a great proven player back.
Okay.
But in theory, you could get an elite hitter.
Like what name?
Let me think about that for a second.
Fernando Tatis.
But I don't want him though.
Manny Machado.
No.
I don't want him either.
Juan Soto.
No, you couldn't get somebody that proven.
I'm just saying.
Because Gavin Williams hasn't done it long enough. But you could get, I'm trying to think of the right guy.
Anybody on that top 10 list we just saw?
Cody Bellinger.
No.
Nobody on that top 10.
No.
So we're looking at
Cody Bellinger.
About somewhere.
No, you could the Cubs would have to give up more than Cody Bellinger to get Gavin Williams.
That means he's pretty good.
Okay.
That's how good. Yeah.
So Cody Bellinger.
He is highly thought of around the league.
So
the right guy's not coming to me in the moment, but like Cody Bellinger, who's been at times an all-star hitter, and in fact he won an MVP. Now he hasn't consistently been that player the last few years, but he was top 10 for MVP last year.
Yeah.
If you were willing to trade him, you could get a ton in return.
See that? Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not coming up with a good player off the top of my head.
What
right
about
now,
the dude from the Red Sox? What's having a good year? Jaron.
Oh, Jaron. I want more.
Okay.
Oh,
you will want more.
And they have
sorry. Yeah, he's in the top 10.
So
I'd want more. Now, I'm not saying the Red Sox would give up more. I'm saying what I would want. Yes.
And this is just a thought exercise. It wasn't like I'm trying. Don't say G. Bush wants to trade everybody. I'm just saying.
In fact, Jaron Duran, good job by Titus. That's the type of player, right? Like Jaron Duran has had this great season. He's a second-year player, kind of like Gavin Williams. Gavin Williams hasn't had the great second season yet. He hasn't pitched, but that's the level of player, like a really good young player. Nobody's gonna give up a Juan Soto because he's a proven top 5, or a Jose Ramirez, but. If you a guy like that, you wouldn't give up Bobby Witt, but you wouldn't give up Gunnar Henderson. But Jaron Duran, sure. I mean,
that's a nice piece. That's a really nice piece, then.
Yeah, but I wouldn't trade Gavin.
Are you saying?
Shows you what he's worth.
Wait a minute.
And that's why if they get,
you would?
No, I'm just saying that's a nice piece to have, right? Because you sometimes in baseball you don't really know.
Yeah.
Like what the true market value of somebody is until they hit free agency. Some of these dudes will never get traded.
You could get a lot for him in a trade, which is why he's valuable. Those two guys. So if you can add one more really good pitcher to go with them, and then another pitcher just to eat innings to be your fourth starter, now you're cooking with gas because their pen is great. The top of the lineup's excellent. You got to add one more bat to lengthen it out.
But you good with Ben Lively being the fourth?
Not really.
Dang. I could live with. I mean, the guy's been.
So we got
his
two
whole career.
playoff pitchers that you just confident in. Well, actually one because you don't know.
If I had to have Ben Lively as my fourth starter in the playoffs, I could live with it.
Okay.
Right now, the way he's pitched, 100%. I'm just worried that all of a sudden he's going to
fall
collapse.
off.
But maybe not. The weird things happen sometimes.
It hurts you because the way Bieber was throwing.
I know.
Man,
so you think about it. You got Gavin Williams.
Yeah.
You got Bobby.
Yeah.
You got Bieber.
Yeah.
And we didn't know McKenzie was going.
Yeah.
If we get
and even with that, they played as well as they have is amazing. And if they make the right trades, I want two pitchers. I can live with one. I want a hitter. You got one pitcher, one hit, one starter, one hitter. Let's go.
Bull, I hate when you talk about a veteran player that might fall off a cliff. Because the last time you said that was Joe Flacco, and he did exactly that in the playoffs. So if you think Ben's gonna do that,
I'm worried about it. I mean,
you said the same thing about
him.
Joe. It's the same thing you said. If he can't fall off the cliff in the playoffs, can he?
Why not?
Don't say that because
I'll say
that's the wrong time. Do it now so we'll know.
I'll make you feel a little better. I think if he pitches this well for the whole season, then I won't think he'll fall apart in the playoffs.
Okay.
I'm still gonna be nervous as hell going against the Orioles.
Like,
You know.
do it now, so I'm
So
not.
we know.
Yeah, so I ain't gonna be shocked. You know,
Exactly.
don't fool me.
All right, good Guardians conversation for most of the first hour of the show. We're moving now to I forgot what we're moving to. We're moving to basketball or football? I
Well, we
can't
got
remember.
10 minutes before Danny Cunningham come on.
Oh yeah. So let's hit on something else.
Let's go to the JB Bickerstaff versus
Very
Kenny
good.
Atkinson.
That's right.
So here's
Yeah.
the situation. Kenny Atkinson replaced JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah.
JB Bickerstaff in return replaced Monty Williams in Detroit. In you all's opinion, which one is the most significant coaching upgrade? JB to Kenny Atkinson or Monty Williams to JB Bickerstaff?
Well, it better be the Cavs or. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Bad that you don't even want to answer the question.
Because I can see Detroit. Why? Because JB does a really good job of rebuilding franchises.
Well, he did here. I don't know that he's going to do it there.
I mean,
He's a rebound.
he has no
builder.
expectations.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no expectations in Detroit. He goes out there and he wins more games next year than this. That's an upgrade.
I mean, Kenny Atkinson did that too with Brooklyn. We don't know that Kenny Atkinson's. We don't know. I mean,
That's why I'm saying
Yeah.
it's like JB to me might be a little bit more proven. Like I kind of think I know what's gonna happen in Detroit. I feel
Bush
like
is gonna lose his
I
mind
kind of
here.
you don't feel like Detroit gonna be better this year.
No.
You don't think so?
I think Kate Cunningham, put up some more points, right? See, the reason they let Monty Williams go is Monty Williams was like, "Oh hell no, we're not about to do this." Like, y'all been
That's exactly what he
Oh
said.
hell, like this is what y'all been doing here in Detroit. Oh no, this not gonna get it done. Especially when you done been with winning organizations.
JB don't put dumpster fires out.
No, JB coddles the dumpster fires.
Okay,
right?
that's fine.
He puts the juice at the bottom and makes it explode more. Like he's gonna tell Kate Cunningham.
You can't say that, G. That's messed up to say.
Well, listen. What he's good at. Now I'll give you this. What he's good at is he's good at motivating young players without messing with their confidence.
Okay, that's what they got.
They got young players. I don't.
Jaden Ivey. You got me saying that, man.
Yeah, right. I think they would take him over. No, I'm saying
These are kind of like the Browns from 10 years ago, basically.
it's just like you come in there like he's going to warm their shoulders up. Everything. The post game's going to be. I thought our guys played really hard.
I don't even know who they starting five is.
That's crazy. That's how. Like you got to have. They are nowhere
Who
near.
they got? They still got Alex Burke.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Like,
I gotta look up their
To me,
starting
this is
five.
easy.
Yeah, well,
Cavs.
Yeah, of course
You would
it's the
think.
Cavs.
You would think.
This
What was that?
Isaiah Stewart.
is that he starts. He starts for them.
I don't know.
Never heard of him.
The one who got to the fight with LeBron.
Oh,
Oh,
Isaiah
yeah, I know.
Stewart.
That's that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he
You
is
know,
there.
he ain't
Let
enough.
me look at this. Oh, they got Tobias Harris. You gonna choose Tobias Harris over me?
Ain't it a shame? It's a shame that
What do you
even
mean choose Tobias Harris over you?
That's what Jimmy Butler said.
Yeah.
They chose Tobias Harris over
it's
me.
a shame that Tobias Harris.
They
also
start-
from Long Island.
they're
There's a
starting-
splash
This
in
is
Detroit.
this is the Pistons start.
Go ahead.
Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Oscar Thompson, Tobias Harris, Jalen Duran. They got Isaiah Stewart coming off the bench and Tim Hardaway Jr. coming off the bench.
Good for them. Hey, our situation is better, no doubt. I mean,
Dang, they got
I don't know, no doubt. But I'm talking out of my
got
ass.
some
We don't
way to
know.
go.
We don't know how good a coach he is.
It is based on the glow that Atkinson has by being in Golden State, and the fact that he could run 3 or 4 plays.
Yeah.
Copy and paste that from Golden State and Kerr. He's a better coach already.
But it's not fair because
Why ain't it fair?
one got like talent actually. The other team don't.
Right. The reality is we don't know how good Atkinson's going to be. We don't know. He coached in Brooklyn. He did a decent job considering they had no talent. He hasn't been a head coach since. I'm with G that I like that he was in Golden State. I like that he worked with Ty Lue also. Like he's been with two of the best coaches in the NBA. So hopefully that has.
What are we judging this off of?
I judge
Like, what would make Kenny Atkinson, like, we going record, we going
No.
playoffs?
One thing.
What is it?
Well, I'm going on the fact he answered one question in Mikey's interview. He talked about how he was in Brooklyn, a guy that was a pace and space guy. Let's move everybody out, shoot a lot of threes, D'Angelo Russell handle, high pick and roll, right? He said he went to Golden State and he found out a lot of different ways how to play, Draymond Green, and their other bigs together, even though those bigs were non-shooting bigs like Moody. Now, listen, he came through and said, all right, well, I would have never played that way, but I went to Golden State and it changed the way I thought about certain things, right? So, we ran a bunch of different things, and he saw about incorporating things that people run well in other places. My thing that was...
Which interview are you referencing?
This is
the one with
McNuggets.
Mike?
Yesterday.
He also talked about taking things from everywhere he's been.
Yeah, like he said he just takes all of it, and that's what I wanted JB to do that. Like, JB had a chance to do exactly what he's talking about doing. He said Max Strus, they ran a lot of different off-away ball action for Max Strus, which he was successful with.
Yeah.
Then they started the first game of the year, they playing the Nets, ironically.
Right.
And Max Strus is just dribbling everywhere.
Yeah.
I said, when did he get this 2K badge? When did he get the playmaker badge?
So what are we going off of?
To me, it's easy.
What is it?
Evan Mobley, Darius Garland.
That's it?
That for me, that's it. Certainly what they do in the
so
playoffs.
would it be for you for Detroit?
I don't give a shit about that. So
that's my point. Like, where's the bar? Like, what would it be?
No,
what would JB need to do?
the
You'll be like, you know what? What
for the
he
Guardians,
did is better than what Kenny
Goes
did.
to the playoffs?
But that's not happening.
Well,
that's just
if you
not.
could get him to a play-in, that would be pretty impressive.
Yeah, play-in.
I'd be impressed if they got.
Hold
to a
on,
play-in.
let me look
But
at
gee,
it.
to me, it's
Look
about
at the
Mobley and
standings.
Garland. Can he start raising the ceilings on both of those guys, especially Mobley?
Yes,
and
Mobley.
we'll know that that's something we could actually look for in the regular season. Wins and losses in the regular season, I don't give a crap. But I want to see those guys. I want Garland to look like an all-star again, and I want Mobley to start to play like an all-star on both ends of the floor, not just on the defensive end. That's going to tell me how he's doing.
22 games out of the play.
22? Yeah, that's a pretty high bar to
22
play.
plays.
I need to play
22 out of the play.
They was 22 games out of
Wait,
it.
they're 22 games out of 10th place?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They are. How many games did they win?
14.
Oh my God. So I'll say if they win 25, that's a good accomplishment. No?
Now you see why I'm saying the bar is easier for JV. Like,
the reality-
you think he can get him to 25 wins?
I don't know.
Like, that's ridiculous.
You got to think about it. They devoid of talent, really. Like, they devoid of talent. They really don't have shooters like
the
that.
Cavs got to get to the third round of the playoffs.
Why did the Pistons fire Monty Williams, by the way?
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Like, you gave him a 5-year deal. You're going to suck anyway.
Because he was
What's the
still,
point?
they wanted somebody that actually cared. He probably was in there like, they paying me, so you know. I think that's what
you
it
want
is.
me to talk to the media?
Yeah.
See,
We ain't got a shot, but if you gonna cut me a check, I'll be here.
I believe people want you to make them feel comfortable about taking the L's, right?
Yeah.
If you know the L's is coming, it's certain people that's not built for like the coach you get.
Yeah.
Is based on where you at in your build, right?
Yeah, sure.
I can't be sitting here going 1-something because I'm gonna eviscerate. I'm just gonna be like, you're not good.
Yeah, but they knew they were going to be bad when they hired Monty Williams.
And then what happened was
didn't give him 2
the way
years.
he was reacting to them being bad.
Yeah.
He probably was questioning like, do we really want to win? Or why are we doing this? What do you mean I got to play him? No, I'm not playing. Like,
Yeah.
he ain't even good. Give me some trades. Like, no, like sometimes you got to be a rebuild type coach.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like JB, like this is a rebound coach. Sometimes you go through a bad relationship and you rebound with somebody that's different than you in every single way. And you just be like, take it from me, I got married to somebody like that. Don't
Yeah.
work out too well. Rebound marriages don't work,
They
bro.
say opposites attract.
The opposite can get you half your money took. Well, I like like-minded people.
Remember that song? Wasn't there a song? opposites attract.
buddy,
And you know.
No. Opposites attract is a lie. Like, I want to go to the store and buy this. No.
Well, you and your wife are you don't think you're opposites?
No.
similar?
No. We're both Scorpios. I only married Scorpios, which is
really?
better. Yeah, we're both Scorpios.
I didn't know you paid attention to that.
I don't.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My
surprises
wife's
me.
a Scorpio.
So that means she's very.
Yeah.
I know what I want, so
Yeah.
she understands, and I don't stand in her way what she want, and so she don't stand in the way of what I
What
want
about
on
you
the
and
two
Ty-
or three
Ty-
Type,
times.
is she a November Scorpio?
Yeah, I don't do that in October.
I
You
don't-
know, Drake made a song about it's November 18th.
We ain't worried about what Drake
I'm
talking
just
about. We're
saying.
talking about the October.
You're-
Mine-
you're
mine's-
never-
mine's-
Man,
I'm
they
just
lame.
saying, Drake
They
made
be
a
lame.
song November 18th. Shout out to DJ Screw, R.I.P.
Shout
But
out
that's
DJ
what
Screw.
November-
That's how you'll never forget my wife's birthday.
November
18th.
Mine's is November 14th, and I always mess up birthdays because my ex-wife and my wife's birthday are a day apart.
Why would you do that?
But hold on,
With you?
hold on.
Whatever, he's interested.
But in the Philippines,
Yeah.
in the Philippines, they're a day ahead.
Yeah.
So technically,
Yeah.
It's the same day.
It's
They
the
were born
same
the same
day.
day.
And I get it wrong all the time.
Tyvus basically just said once you knew that you should have sent her back to the Philippines.
Listen,
he basically just said that.
it was too late. The paperwork was signed. That ain't the way it works. See, they make you sign up quick. Like they like, are you sure you want to be with her forever?
Well,
Did you sign? Yeah, I signed.
We're having a crazy day.
opposite.
We got our guest.
Yeah, we do. Let's get a reading before we get to
I'm gonna remember
Shout
that
out to the other Scorpio over there, Earl.
forever.
Scorpios.
All right, let's get to it. Again, man, if you're trying to go check out the Cleveland Guardians tonight as they take on the White Sox, you want to see Gavin Williams make his first start of the season, all you got to do is download the Game Time app right now. Create an account, use Locked On code NFL for Locked On NFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code Locked On NFL for $20 off your first purchase. Joining us right now to talk more about the Cleveland Cavaliers is Locked On Cavs host, my man Danny Cunningham. Danny, good morning, brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today?
Man, we chilling. We rocking, man. Listen, are you excited about the Donovan Mitchell hire?
Resign.
Resign, hire, fire, same difference. I'm one higher.
Of course. I mean, outside of, the Cavs getting LeBron to come back and really outside of like transactions involving LeBron, this is one of the biggest ones in the history of the franchise for the Cavs. They made a huge bet when they traded for Donovan Mitchell a couple of Septembers ago. They gave up a lot to get him. I think he's been a top 10 player in basketball when he's been in Cleveland and been healthy. And with that commitment yesterday, they got that guy to say, I want to spend the best years of my career playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't think that can be understated, just how big this is of a win for this franchise.
Danny, the thing about Donovan Mitchell, it was great that he got re-signed, but it's been reported and rumored that he is not a fan of getting rid of Jared Allen, who was a guy that could have them probably the most trade value on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Do you think since he's come out and said that, that's why we haven't seen the Cavs make any moves in free agency or any trades?
I think the free agency aspect of things was always going to be slow with the Cavs, and I don't think that those two things are all that connected. I don't know that those things are not connected in terms of why we haven't heard more trade stuff with Jarrett Allen. You mentioned that I do agree with you, has the most trade value of the available guys. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell would have incredible value, but he's not someone the Cavs are going to part with, and I think Evan Mobley would have a lot of value as well. But the Cavs are not interested in trading him. They're interested in extending his contract. Darius Garland's value, I don't think, is all that high on the open market. Look no further than what the New Orleans Pelicans didn't have to give up too much to get DeJounte Murray from the Atlanta Hawks. So I do think that, Donovan Mitchell would like Jared Allen to be on the basketball team next year. I think that those two have had a great partnership in the 2 years that they've played together. I think Kenny Atkinson would like to see Jared Allen around, but I wouldn't rule anything out. I know that the Cavs have privately, it's been reported that they've been very steadfast on running back to the core four, but I think if you're Kobe Altman and you get calls from other teams specifically about Jared Allen, you've got to answer the phone and hear other teams out.
Not including their top four guys. What's the best way you see them being able to improve this offseason, Danny?
Well, I think they need more help on the wing, certainly. And they were never going to be, in my opinion, a big player in the free agent market. They just don't have a ton of avenues. Now, they've got the non-taxpayer mid-level exception that they can use, which is a little over $12 million. I could see them signing someone like a Gary Trent Jr. as a free agent, but it was always going to have to be playing in the trade market. I think they have some pieces that could be moved. Maybe you look and see what you can get by flipping a Karis LeVert to another team that wants to take on an expiring contract this summer to try and open up some cap space next year. Karis LeVert, I think, would be a great fit there for teams that are looking to do that and have a piece that the Cavs could be interested in bringing on at that wing spot just to sort of balance out the talent on the roster. But this is a team that needs more talent on the wing. They've got a lot of talent in the backcourt. They've got a lot of talent in the front court. But that wing position is where they need help.
I look at it and like you said, I just don't see the pieces, the money, the cap, and they're not going to go over the into the second apron or luxury tax. So that's not going to happen. So I look at it and say, okay, well, how do they get better? If you look at the Knicks and what they've done, you look at the Celtics, even teams like the Magic. I thought the Magic got better. I think the Sixers got better. Is the Cavs' only recourse to improve and get players to take second steps that are already in your organization with young players in their guys that they have now?
I don't think that's their only way to improve, but I think it's probably the most important way they can improve. Because if you look at this roster, Darius Garland is a guy, not the most important guy here, but a guy worth bringing up because he had a nightmare of a season last year. And if Darius Garland is not even the all-star he was the year before Donovan Mitchell arrived, but if he's the same guy that played Donovan Mitchell's first year in Cleveland, you feel better about that than you did what he was last year. And then ultimately, this team's ceiling is going to be decided by Evan Mobley. I think Donovan Mitchell is the guy that raises the floor for this organization, this franchise. With him, when he's healthy, I think that this is a team that's going to be winning 47 to 50-plus games and a home court advantage team every year because he's just that good. But I think Evan Mobley and his development and just how good he gets, he's going to be the one that determines whether or not this is a team that can be a championship contender. It doesn't mean that there can't be moves made outside, but the internal development of Evan Mobley specifically is probably the most important thing that can change from last season to this upcoming season.
Speaking of Evan Mobley, now that they got Kenny Atkinson, and I think McNuggets sat down with him, do you think he has the potential to turn into a Draymond Green? Obviously he was really good defensively, and Draymond Green does a great job of facilitating, and he can occasionally hit those threes. Is that where you want to see Evan Mobley be, or do you think Evan is talented enough to go above and beyond that on the offensive side?
I think on the offensive side, Evan is talented enough to go up beyond that. Now, Draymond at certain points in his career has actually been a pretty good three-point shooter. Like a big reason why the Warriors won 73 games in 2015-16 is because Draymond actually shot 40% from three-point range. And I think a lot of people forget about that because the rest of his career, he hasn't been great. But there have been times when he has been. And I think Evan having much more size than Draymond is something that can help to elevate his offensive game and do things differently than what Draymond did. That said, Draymond's a great distributor. He's a better ball handler than Evan Mobley has ever been. But there are some things I think they can do with Evan Mobley that I don't think are massive changes that can help to get more out of him, even if he doesn't get better. Like, I just think there are some stylistic things, like playing faster, playing at a greater pace can really help to unlock Evan Mobley and get more out of him offensively. And then defensively, I don't really think we need to have that conversation. Like, everyone just agrees he's a terrific defender. He's one of the best in basketball at his position. I think he's the best defensively when he can roam, play the four, and play sort of that free safety position on that end of the floor. So I do think that there's a lot of room for him to improve offensively. And I think that him not being a point guard, and I know that's not what you're asking, but making more decisions with the ball in his hands offensively is another way that I think they can get more out of him on that end of the court.
Do you think that Evan can be that dog mentality? Because when you think about Draymond, you think this is a dog. This is a dude that people fear Draymond. He brings that type of style there, passionate guy. When you look at Evan, like, he don't really come off as that type of guy. Do you think that's something he could develop?
I don't know if you can develop that kind of attitude because you're right. He doesn't have that. And, in some ways that's good. Like we have seen over the years, that attitude for Draymond Green has caused some problems in Golden State. It's not all been roses because of the way he has acted. Now, of course, it's helped lead to 4 championships for the Warriors. I don't know if that sort of attitude is something that we'll see develop with Evan. It is interesting, though, because to me, in watching Evan defensively, it's not just that he seems like a different player on that end of the floor. He seems like a different person. Like he's not scared of any contact defensively. He's willing to fight with everybody. He makes big plays. And then offensively, I don't think he goes into contact quite as much as he should. He doesn't get to the free throw line as often as he should because there are times when he doesn't go up strong enough with the basketball. So I'd like to see sort of that mentality that I've noticed, at least on the defensive end of the floor, be something that translates to the offensive side of the floor. I think that'd be a really good thing for him and for the Cavs if he can make that transition from defense to offense while keeping that same mentality.
Earl, you got something? Danny, go ahead.
Yo, Danny, man, so you just signed Donovan Mitchell to a new 3-year contract. You have Darius Garland under a contract. Soon, Evan Mobley will be signing a rookie max deal. So that'll give you 3 guys that's locked up under contract. Kenny Atkinson says he has 3 former All-Stars, 1 perennial future All-Star, and Evan Mobley. Yet, when everybody's healthy, the Cavs is probably the 5th or 6th best team in the Eastern Conference. How can the Cavs organization keep selling this to fans as this current team can go win an NBA championship?
The way that they can keep selling this, and it's on you if you believe it or if you don't, but they can say that those guys aren't done getting better. During Kenny Atkinson's introductory press conference earlier this week, he and Cavs president of basketball operations, Kobe Altman, may mention that, player development doesn't stop when you become a good team. And that is something that I do agree with. Like, is Donovan Mitchell done getting better? They don't think so. They certainly don't believe Darius Garland and Evan Mobley are done getting better. So that's really the way that if the Cavs want to sell that, that's how they should do it. Because you can say, Donovan Mitchell's been a top 10 player in basketball, and they can believe that. And they can also believe that he's someone that's still getting better, that he hasn't reached his peak quite yet. And I certainly believe that to be true with Evan Mobley, with Darius Garland. I think those guys have better days ahead of them on the basketball floor than what we've seen so far. So if you want to sell it that way, that's the way to do it. I think that ultimately there will need to be changes. I don't think that the core 4 as constructed right now is going to lead to championship contention, and that ultimately should be the goal. I don't know if that core 4 is going to change this offseason or next offseason or when, but I think if this team's going to get to where it wants to be, there needs to be one significant change. I don't know what that change is going to be or even what it should be, but I don't think as constructed right now, the Cavs are going to reach championship levels.
Goldhammer and Dangerous Daryl Ryder in a fight to the death. Who you betting on?
Oh, man. Oh, probably Daryl. I would have to say
the right
Daryl. I mean, listen, I like both those guys. Aaron is one of the least athletic people I have ever seen. I cannot imagine him in a fight. And I think Daryl would play dirty. I do. I think Daryl would pull out all the stops to get that done.
That's the right answer.
Great question, though. That's a great question, though.
That is the right answer. You're 100% right. He's a feisty guy.
Yeah.
Many people remember years ago when he tore my Achilles tendon. That's when he first got the nickname by me, Dangerous Daryl Ryder. He would fight. He would 100% fight dirty. Plus, Daryl's got a lot of built-up anger inside of him. So if he could take it out on Goldhammer, he'd kick his ass. I believe in that.
I think you need to ask him a better question, though.
Yeah.
The biggest question, Danny, in this whole rap beef, what side are you on? Are you team Drake or are you team Kendrick?
I am like Tyvus here. I'm Team Switzerland. I don't have a reason as to why I need to pick.
Smart man.
There's no reason for me to pick a side. I like music from both of these guys. I'm not going to let the fact that they don't like each other determine that I can't listen to music by Kendrick or music by Drake. I think it's phenomenal entertainment. I'll give you that. Like, it has been amazing to watch from the sidelines as I just go, oh, that's a good point. Oh, that's a good point from him too. So I'm going to be Team Switzerland. I'm staying in the middle. I'm not picking a side.
Well, he even asked the Switzerland question. The question is, who won?
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, I can give you that answer.
I mean, that answer is Kendrick. I mean, I don't think that's much of a
I like this
that
guy.
answer is Kendrick. The answer is Kendrick Lamar.
I like the fact you didn't sidestep. You're my guy. You said core 4 got to go, and Kendrick Lamar won. You're my guy, Danny. Come back anytime.
Thanks, Danny. Good stuff, man. We appreciate your time. Good luck, and everybody check out the Locked On Cavs podcast with Danny. Thanks, man. Be good.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You got it. Yeah, that's.
Do y'all think Evan could be a Draymond Green?
I was sitting there thinking, so Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I was like, is Evan Mobley better than Draymond Green? And I was like, I wanted to say yeah, but I had to go back and look, and I said, oh no, that's blasphemous.
Draymond Green defensively is like one of the top defensive guys that we've seen.
He's a rebounder, an instigator,
a passer.
I mean, he's not a great scorer, but
exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we're trying to get Evan to become this.
That's a Hall of Fame
offensive guy. Like, what if he became like Draymond offensively? But he would have to handle the ball and be comfortable with that.
I don't get the comparisons with Draymond. That like Draymond, I'm expecting Mobley to be a much better offensive player than Draymond. But in no way am I expecting, like, Draymond Green is a nut job. He wants to kill his opponents.
He's very good, though. He's a good nut job.
He won him 4 rings.
I'm not saying that as a bad thing.
I wouldn't be
scared of him.
If Evan wanted to go out there, he made people feel like he wanted to kill him. I'd take that. I take you because he actually is in the paint.
But you're missing what I'm saying. I'm not saying that was a bad thing. I mean, it has been occasionally. It's been a negative.
I ain't telling him to get suspended.
But for the most part, it's a positive. But Evan Mobley's not going to be like him. He's never going to have that attitude on the court.
So let me check this out. So Draymond Green's best year, 2015, 2016, he played 81 games. He averaged 14 points. 9.5 assists, so basically 9.5 rebounds.
He averaged 9 assists?
No, he averaged 9 rebounds.
Oh,
so he 14 points, about 10 rebounds, but he averaged 7.4 assists.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
So
he almost averaged a triple double.
What was do we have Evan Mobley's season stats from this season?
Yeah, we do. Give me 1 second.
He was like 16, 9, and 4.
So I mean,
that's pretty good.
He got to get to
3.
What you say he was averaging now? 14, 9,
about 14.
Wait a second.
14, 10, and 7.
Guys, we need Mobley to become the best player on the Cavs.
That's over.
We need him to be way better.
That's not going to happen.
So here's
my problem is if he had Donovan's mentality, yeah, he could be, but he don't, and that's the biggest part.
But it's
between his head.
He's got to become a 24 and 12 guy.
Well,
for the Cavs
when he's adopt that mentality, like you know what? I
want to be Draymond Green, and I want to be better than Draymond.
Going into this season, I was like, you know what? If we miss out on Donovan, like if he decides to leave, it won't bother me because in the playoffs he didn't show up and stuff like that. This past playoffs has really changed my perspective on Donovan. Like Donovan was like, BS, if y'all don't want to help me, get out the way. I do it myself. Like, if Evan did that, he could be much more effective than Donovan.
Is that possible that it could change? I mean, I don't know.
Yes. He better figure it out. If we need him to be the best player, he better figure it out.
Did you ever play with someone who changed in that regard?
Either you got when it called.
Let me get back to you on that.
I mean,
I got to think about that.
I think of the way I do my job now versus the way I started. I'm totally different. I think I'm the greatest sports broadcaster on the planet.
So okay,
you're behind.
I didn't think that when I first started.
You're behind me, but I hear you.
Sometimes that we get and we talk about this stuff vaguely, right?
Yeah.
Can Evan Mobley take over? Can Evan Mobley be the best player? We don't drill down on what exactly his game is.
Right. Because we don't know.
I've seen enough of it to know what he is not good at.
What is he not good at?
Shooting threes. Putting the ball.
He's literally had games we went 100%.
He's not good. Listen, he's not good at putting the ball on the court more than 3 times either way. He does not finish high enough underneath the basket. He does not have a go-to post move. He does not have a jump hook. And when I say go-to move, I mean, that's my money move.
You're right about all of it.
It should be the elbow shot.
The Cavs' hope is that they can develop all of it. There have been guys that have developed year 4 or later.
Who?
Giannis didn't become a superstar till year 4.
Hey. You
He didn't
comparing
become a
apples
star
to
till year 4.
You comparing apples to oranges here.
You said who? I gave you an example.
That's all right. I don't like that answer.
Giannis was
I don't like that answer.
One thing Giannis was always doing was handling the ball. He was comfortable having it.
But he wasn't a superstar till year 4.
He wasn't a superstar.
I'm just saying, guys, and what's his name? Lopez. He didn't shoot threes till like 8 years into his career.
What's the name? We talked about that.
Yeah.
Atkinson talked about shoot more threes. Here's the thing that I look at. We want him to become a star.
Yes.
And I think you got to think about what star means. Do you want him to become a star for the Cavs, as in, hey, he's good for what we got? But when you say star, and you go outside of the Cavs organization, does he add up to what other people are doing?
He needs to. Otherwise they can't win that.
All right, so watch this. So Evan Mobley will never be better than Paolo Banchero, ever.
Probably true.
I don't believe that.
Paolo Banchero came into the league averaging 27 and 4. Last year he gave you 23, 7, and 5.
He's not the same circumstance.
Wait a minute. Here's a guy.
He's playing with nobody.
Let me tell you a guy that
he has a skill set. He can pull up. He can dribble.
He can't shoot though.
Who
can?
Who can?
Who can?
I don't know.
Let me give you a guy that is in the same.
Yeah.
They about the same.
Wimby?
No. You about to make me cuss on. I don't even curse.
So I keep giving you young players that he's not better than now.
What? Check this. Check this.
Chet Holmgren, right?
Check this.
Not better than Chet Holmgren today.
Again, in fairness, and I'm not saying he's ever going to be better than any of those guys. He probably won't.
Okay.
That's a
but
shame.
In fairness to
that's
him,
a shame.
Those guys went into situations where they got to be the man immediately.
I'll give you that.
He hasn't been. In
That's a fair.
Chet is not the man immediately.
Who was it?
Chet Holmgren.
He wasn't?
No,
I wish
he got Shea
Gilgeous over there. No,
but he was the second guy.
He might be the second guy here.
Williams is his
But wait a second. If Mobley, let's say Mobley come into a team like San Antonio, where the team totally sucks, and he's the only player anybody cares about, he probably would have scored more points over the last couple of years.
So you're saying if you just swapped Wemby and Mobley, Mobley would have the same numbers as Wemby?
No.
Okay.
But wait a minute. But he'd have better numbers there than he did here.
Okay.
Okay. There's an in between.
Okay.
The guy that when I look at Evan Mobley,
who's your guy?
It's like he's like Jaren Jackson Jr. Defensive guy, but see, Jaren Jackson can hit threes, and he got games where he's. Well, Mobley had a game.
I'm just saying we need to see him with a different coach before we completely write off the possibility.
I ain't writing him off. I'm telling you, he needs to develop the mindset that I'm that dude. I'm un-F-able.
You're right, and that's hard.
Nobody gonna stop me.
Right.
That's what he needed. He need to say, I will bust your all 3 levels. I go to the cup, I pull up midi, and I pull from Trey. Triple threat. That's where he need to be. If he want to be considered as the best player on the Cavs, he need to be triple threat because he got the skill set to do all 3.
I'm gonna give him an example. He can understand it. At Ohio State, there be dudes that you automatically know who good by what number they got.
Here we go.
Facts? Is it not facts? I know you good.
What number is
they come in there with that too? They that deal. I just tell you right now.
What number guarantees you the guy's a scrub?
In football or basketball?
Football.
40 something.
38.
Yeah. What position you talking?
The nastiest number.
It depends on the position matters. Because if you get
so if you're a wide
36 a bad number.
If you're a wide receiver and you get like 82.
82, 81. 81 is nasty.
No, you can't because T.O. was 81.
But
but everybody like single digit. You got to be in the teens or the single digits.
So there was a dude who I thought was going to be, because, defensive end. I watched defensive ends. You had the Boses. You had Chase Young. You had a lot of those. Listen, I even like to do I like Thaddeus Gibson. I liked his game.
Don't talk about my boy, man.
I like that he's good.
homie, don't do that.
I liked him. I liked his game.
Earl got to draw the line. He took it too far.
But there was
That's a 10 for a homie right there.
By
Don't
the
do that.
way, but you got 82. Ozzie Newsome was 82.
that was old school. We don't
He's
know
a
who that
tight
is.
end.
Yeah, that's
You don't know who it is.
they don't know.
He's
These
a
young
tight
boys,
end.
they like Ozzie.
John Stallworth from the Steelers Hall.
They
of
don't know
Famer.
who that is.
I don't know who. We don't know who that is.
Well, I thought this dude was gonna be cold.
Who?
Robert Rose.
Rob Rose.
He was supposed.
He threw the best party, one of the best parties in Columbus.
had-
The Rob Rose bowl party. Woo.
Rob Rose had the number 9. He was big. He looked athletic. I'm like, this dude about to be the next dude up.
You know who was a good 82?
You still mad about the
82. He
ain't finding a lot of
Hey,
good
look,
ones.
just to put this in perspective,
Yeah.
we know how Myles Garrett looked like, right? I'm not exaggerating with what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Rob Rose looked like that his senior year at Glenville.
Hey, Rob Rose was like, I thought they gave him the
that
9
was
coming
the
in.
Craziest statement I've ever heard in my life.
He did. He's huge.
like
I
Myles
am not
Garrett?
making this up.
Rob Rose was supposed to be.
He was that deal. I was like, yo, he's about to dominate the Big Ten. But guess what?
What he did-
it
wasn't
goes.
he good?
It goes back to mindset.
It didn't work out.
You see what I'm saying?
Remember that guy from Baylor who was like,
Mindset.
Oh,
Remember that dude?
Oakley, Sean Oakley.
yeah, what happened to him?
Didn't work
Did he get in
out.
trouble off the field?
Yeah,
Bro,
he got it, but he
got
was
arrested, I think.
He was accused of rape,
but
wasn't
he
he?
didn't
And
do
then
it.
he didn't do
And
it.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
Now,
By the way, 82. All right, let's see if you remember this. 82, he was a really good player for a couple of years. Then he came here to Cleveland, and he stole money
Dwayne
for a
Bowe.
year.
Dwayne Bowe? I thought he was 84.
82.
87.
Even more, it further pushes my agenda
waste.
what I'm talking about.
To bring this back to
Yeah.
Evan Mobley, though, like,
Right.
I disagree with you, son, because to me, the most underrated part of his game is his passing ability, his playmaking ability, the ball handling, all of that. I don't think that was utilized much last year, and Kenny Atkinson all but said this man was underutilized in damn near every way possible last year. As far as the three-point shooting goes, I done heard Brad Daugherty talk to this. I done heard a few people talk to this point of Evan doesn't need to be this consistent perimeter jump shot shooter. And so many other things that he does very well that if that never develops to be that, he can still become one of the best players in the league and the best player on his team.
I don't
To
agree
that,
with
y'all
that.
say what?
How could I don't agree with that. How could he become
gotta
the best player on the team if he can't shoot
listen,
threes?
listen. The best player on the team is Donovan Mitchell. Until Evan Mobley can tell everybody, you know what, bleep it, get out the way. I got this, and I win a whole playoff
Well,
series by myself. He will never be the best
We
player
know
on the
that,
Cavs. I don't
Titus,
care
but-
what nobody say. So stop pushing this agenda that this man is going to be the best player on the
That's-
Cavs.
nobody's saying
He
he's
will
going to
not
be.
do that.
In
He's
a
not going to
perfect
do
world,
that.
he
It's not
would
going to
become the
happen.
best player.
Let me-
It's
One
not
of the
going to
Cavs-
happen.
One of the Cavs are never going to win a title.
Let me.
He ain't going to tell everybody, get out the way, I got
He
this.
has to.
He's not, no.
Let's go.
No,
He's
he's
got to take his you-know-whats
No,
out
he's
of his
not.
pants and show them to everybody. Let's go.
Not going to happen.
That he just like let me just give you put it just in perspective.
Yeah.
So I keep once again, is he good for Cleveland or is he good
still on that.
everywhere?
He's still-
Like when you
I know what you mean.
You see what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
do this all the time. We be like, oh, he's here. He got the uniform on. You're like, but no,
got the uniform.
he got the uni on. Like it's the CLE.
What
like,
do you mean? Is he good for Cleveland? What do you mean?
So let me just give you this. So Scotty Barnes was taken after Evan Mobley.
He won Rookie of the
Scotty
Year.
Barnes was Rookie of the Year.
Which
Scotty
a lot of
Barnes-
people say should have been Evan.
But when you go to Scotty Barnes' stats, again,
Scotty Barnes on a terrible team.
I listen. I get the terrible
We
team.
can't win the
quote.
stats.
But no, you're never gonna win that one, right?
So what are we
But
talking-
but you probably not gonna win the skill war.
Let me
Like
ask-
Scotty Barnes, they let him handle the ball. So my problem with the Cavaliers has always been this: you want these guys to turn into these guys, but then you don't utilize them, and you still can. Why would you not develop him and say, if this is what we want him to turn the ball into, he should be getting the ball at the high post.
I agree.
He should be utilized
I think
that
this
way.
year they're going to do that.
Well, listen, you're 3 years too late.
No.
They're not
I don't know, too late, but
I'm
late.
I'm just
late,
you
late is fair.
You late to the party.
Yeah.
So Kobe Altman, if you're putting a roster together and you draft Evan Mobley, and this is what you want him to come to be about, you go to JB and say, no, This wasn't the plan.
So that-
you know we drafted him to do this.
So now you telling me you back on the fire Kobe Altman because so it's Kobe's fault.
No, listen.
Because he should have went and laid the law down.
Y'all know how I feel about Kobe Altman. Hey, whatever they do is gonna be whatever they do. What I'm just saying to them is the planning, bro. Where's these other guys? The Raptors, they're a bad team, right? Sometimes you're a bad team because you're giving young guys experience.
Yes.
And
But
then
the Cavs
that pays
couldn't
off.
do that because they had
The
made
expectations,
trade.
yeah.
I mean, so you got
The Raptors have no expectations. They won
Hey,
their finals just
at
what
this
4
point-
years ago. They're good.
At this point, arguing about what happened, it doesn't matter.
what I'm saying is
You gotta hope that
so
going forward it's different.
wait a minute. So
Yeah.
are you insinuating that if you were starting a team today, you would take Scotty Barnes over Evan Mobley?
Please don't do this, G.
listen,
Hold on, let him answer, Earl.
Hold on. Do I believe?
Now I just
Hold
asked
on,
the question.
Hold on. Do I believe that Scotty Barnes is like going to be a better overall player than Evan Mobley? No, I don't believe so. A, I think he was utilized wrong, and B, you could get more out of him if you had a more creative coach. However, what I'm pointing to is that Scotty Barnes' development at this point has been quicker and it's been more marked than Evan Mobley's. The guy's averaging 20 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 6 assists. That shows me they're putting the ball in his hands. Do I think Evan Mobley can get those 6 assists?
You know why they putting the ball in his hands? Because they ain't got nobody else to put the
So
ball
who you
in.
taking? If he's your guy, take him.
If
I would listen. I wouldn't take Scotty Barnes over Evan Mobley. What I'm saying to you is the people that is
G, but you missing
amping the big part like he's gonna be some great like.
you also missing the point of the fact that he got 2 ball dominant guards that he played with.
Well, I told you should have stripped Darius Garland and all that ball because listen. By the
That's
way,
the best thing he good
No,
at.
no.
He was going to make a bold statement, fight with
no,
you guys
no, hold
here,
on,
nothing
no. Listen,
Because he realized how blasphemy he was
listen,
about to sound.
I've always said that Darius Garland cannot be your second or first best player. I've said that multiple times. So Darius Garland, he has the ball in his hands a lot, and you saw I tell Jason Lloyd for what? Like he turns the ball over crazy in crunch time. So
Was this always his thing, or was this just last year that he did this?
man, he still play around with the ball.
I'm saying, like 2 years ago and the year before, was he turning it over like that? I felt like he wasn't. Like the play-in year, was he turning? I don't think he was turning it over like he had the ball all the time.
You see, Tyvus, that's the way it works.
I'm just saying.
how we talk about it.
I'm just saying.
Yes,
I got a question. Shout out to Evan419 because this is the question. If Toronto had Donovan Mitchell, Scotty wouldn't have those numbers.
I agree.
Do you agree, G?
That's my point.
I've been making that point about a bunch of guys here.
Hold on. I think he still gets those numbers with Donovan Mitchell. It's just Donovan Mitchell. It's 2 people. The Cavs are different because
They got a core 4.
they got 4 people, right?
Well, Jarrett's not running the rock. It's only Darius and Donovan.
But if you look at it, if you watch,
I believe, to be honest with you, what they should do
Go
is
ahead.
they should strip both of them from the ball and let Evan push the rock. If he had that ability, your offense would be crazy because now you got a big man that's at the top trying to check dudes. Now everything is open. It would actually work out better, but that's a whole other story for another day.
I've always said that Evan Mobley should be playing at the elbow like a Chris Webber. He should be playing at the elbow, and they should be facilitating.
Doing grandmama commercials.
Larry
Let's
Johnson
go.
is a facilitator. But no, listen. And I asked Danny this question. I said, listen, is the best way to get the Cavs to where they want to go is they just got to go all in on developing what they got? Because I'm just telling y'all, bro.
That's what they're doing.
Ain't nothing coming from that.
Yeah, no.
Ain't nothing coming.
The only
It's
free
set in stone. I think
the only free agent he just said we might get Gary Trent.
Well, but they might still trade Jared
Junior,
Allen.
not
I think
Gary
it's still
Trent
possible
Senior.
to trade Jared Allen.
They not trading.
It's
Donovan
possible.
came out and said that he
Buddy Hill just got picked up. Life is moving on.
Miles
That's
Bridges
true.
about to get traded
All right,
to
let's leave it
somewhere.
there. Let's leave it there for now because we got a good topic to move on to. So let's see what we got.
Before we get to this next topic, man, don't forget to subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure that you stick around for overtime. You get all the badges, all the cool content. And make sure you subscribe to get the UCSS newsletter that comes out to you every week, written by yours truly. Boy, here's the situation.
Yeah.
We all know Donovan Mitchell just re-signed. That's a historic moment in Cleveland Cavaliers history. We know that Jose Ramirez is one of the top 25 players in all of Major League Baseball. He took a significant pay cut to stay here with the Cleveland Guardians. We know that Myles Garrett 9 times out of 10 is a Cleveland Browns lifer. When you look at all three teams right now and we assess the state of pro sports in the city of Cleveland, how would you all assess that as we stand right here today?
Guys, I think it's, if you look at the three combined, it's as good as it's ever been. When has it been better?
To have three
There's
stuff.
never been a time. There's been times where individually some of the teams have been in better shape. But there's never been a time, because let's face it, for the most part, the Browns have been awful since the 80s. They've almost never been good. So even when the other two teams have been good, well, they've never been good, pretty much.
2016 would be the best year because
Yeah,
the
but Browns
Cavs
weren't. Right.
but I'm
Of
saying the
course,
Cavs
2016,
won it
yeah.
all. The Guardians or Indians was in the World Series, so
Right.
that would have been the prime of it
Yeah,
all.
because you had two teams
Yes.
that were legit
Right.
championship contenders. But you could argue now on some level that all three teams are at least borderline capable of winning a title. Now,
Yeah.
will they ultimately do it? Who knows? But it's the first time since, I don't know when, the Cavs were not
Ever.
good in the 80s.
Ever.
And the Browns were not good for most of the last 3 decades. And the Browns were not good in the 70s. I mean, well, they had some moments in the 70s, but the Indians were terrible in the 70s, and the Indians were terrible in the 80s. So
Ever.
yeah, I mean, so you have all three teams are good right now.
They all should
And-
have all of them ever made the playoffs at the same time? I feel like no.
I'd have to think
Because it'd
about
be the
that,
Browns that'd be the one. They only had,
Yeah, I mean,
what was it,
The
2001?
Indians in the 80s
2002?
never really did it.
It was
no.
2002
It would have to be. So 2002, the Browns made the playoffs.
Right. And the Cavs were terrible because they
Cavs
were
were
trying to
bad.
get LeBron.
Yeah.
So no.
I don't think so. That maybe there might have been 1 year randomly somewhere along the line that I'm not thinking of.
Cavs in the 80s and the Browns in the 80s were good. Indians were terrible. They were
Yes.
losing 100 games a year. I don't think,
So obviously, the Cavs made the playoffs this year. The Guardians are going to make the playoffs this year.
And the
Browns made the playoffs this year. So all three, now you want to count, does this year,
Right.
technically, do the Browns have to make it again this year? Because the
calendar year,
the last year, the Guardians didn't make it.
Well,
So,
they was all in the.
what?
I mean, in 20,
playoffs technically started
in
in-
2024. The Browns were in the playoffs.
Yes, they were.
The
So-
Cavs were in the
so
playoffs,
all-
and if the Guardians make the
So
playoffs, that's
I
all
think
in
it's a
24.
pretty safe assumption that the Guardians are going to make it. So we're going to have all three this year.
So one of the things, that Earl was talking about was, okay, there's this thought process or notion that people don't want to play in Cleveland, right? He mentioned Myles Garrett. He mentioned, Ramirez. He mentioned Donovan Mitchell, right? Mm-hmm. Is the narrative changing or that people want to be in Cleveland, or are those isolated incidences?
Listen, who knows? You can't speak for every single player.
Well, it's hard, because
I think that's really just the I'm sorry, just the basketball thing.
Listen,
It depends. When the Browns were, for most of the last 30 years, the Browns have been such a shit show that there were probably people that did not want to play for the Browns. And so you had to overpay to get them.
Right.
I think with the Indians/Guardians, at least since the 90s, it's only been about money. Because they've been such a good organization, why would people not want to play here? That doesn't make any sense. I think with basketball, a lot of the players just want to play in the cooler markets. And
they want to play with.
I don't
They
think
want to
that's
play
a
with better
Cleveland-specific
talent.
thing.
To be honest
Yeah.
with you, when you look at those three names, there's only
Yeah.
one person it's an honest assessment, because Miles and Jose, they all were picked here, they grew up in the league here. Donovan actually got traded here, so he was the one that was like, oh, I actually like Cleveland. It ain't bad here. Other ones, that's all they know. That's all they kind of know.
But Jose, doesn't stop most baseball players. from
True, but
changing
I'm
teams.
saying, that's all he.
But the fact that he took, as he pointed out, the fact that he took significantly less money to stay, when he knows that if he would have been a free agent, he would have gotten paid way more money, so he doesn't know. I mean, that didn't stop 99% of players from going just because they don't know. So I think that has something to do. I think when players don't want to play here, it has more to do with the team than the city. Except for maybe some guys in basketball. I think it's more about the team than the city.
agree. I think once people get here and they see the how the city is, first of all, it's shocking because it's like, oh, I didn't know Cleveland would be like this fun. They got some stuff going on, and I think that you're right. I think the team is just not doing better. They don't
play
see
for the Browns because they were the Browns, not because they were in Cleveland.
Yeah,
And I think Donovan Mitchell made a basketball decision. Like, I mean, if you look at the landscape of what's going on, like, he'd have to take less money to go other places.
Pay him more than others.
He basically is the man on the team, right?
Yeah.
He has a friend who he likes in Jared Allen. He got to handpick the coach. And other teams that they thought about speculating, the Brooklyn Nets are in a complete rebuild. And the Knicks are loaded and have their superstar in Jalen Brunson.
He could have went to Miami.
But I think Cleveland
is a better basketball
I think Cleveland sports is in a good light right now. None of the teams are being made fun of. Like, none of them are a joke. Now, the Browns still have to do it longer because they could easily fall back into joke category if they don't stay on the right path. But I feel like they're on a pretty solid path right now that they won't. The Guardians are obviously well respected around baseball. And the Cavs are respected, I believe, around the NBA.
I'm gonna ask you this, Bull, because I think this is true. I think more than anything, I think there's more of a difference in the media, like in the fans. Like, I think there's an adjustment period that you go from your teams are bad and you're used to the narrative around the teams.
Yes.
I think how you cover the teams now is more impactful or different for us, right? Like, before you could just roll out of bed and just say the Browns are terrible.
Yeah, right.
And you get people that say, okay, well, they'll listen to it.
Right.
It's more difficult to cover teams that are consistently good, that are looking to push for a championship, that aren't, I wouldn't say the prohibited favorite, right? The top 3 or 4 teams. It's more difficult because now you just can't use the same
I think it's
stuff.
a mixed bag. In some ways, it is more difficult. Because, you could just go on a rant about how bad the Browns suck, and that's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy to do. I mean, we all did that a million times because it was easy. But it's also more fun when the teams are good.
Yes,
there are moments when you rant about how much a team sucks that it's funny to do that. But eventually it gets boring when the team blows. You know they don't have a chance to win.
Right.
Like, watching the Browns go win 3-4 games. Like, when I first started at the radio station, and, like, we go into the season knowing, like, maybe they'll win 5 games. Like,
it's empty inside. Like, you're just dead. Like,
you want to cover a good team?
You trying to look at angles like maybe, like,
you psyching yourself out.
We're talking about the draft in November.
It's crazy. The season is like decades.
Yeah.
Like every day is like 48 hours. You're like, dang, I ain't got nothing. It's only 2 o'clock.
What year is this? This will be year 3 for me doing the Browns. So the first, dang, that was the year after they went to the playoffs. It was a bad year. Then last year was good. I 1-1, so
At least
I will tell you, it is bad when they lose, and it's
the Browns have been for lack of better, even under Stefanski his first year, right?
Yeah.
They've always had the best storylines, though. They had
there was those crazy
Jarvis, the Odell, the Baker, Peyton Hill. We had crazy storylines. Like, it's been interesting to watch them. Here's how you know you done came a long way. You are the 4 o'clock game, even with Deshaun Watson. You are the 4 o'clock game with Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's debut.
Week 1 at home.
Yeah.
Debut.
What? Are you serious?
How many night games? They got 4 night games this year, right?
Yeah, right. The Browns in 2014 and 15 and 16, they weren't playing the 4 o'clock games on week 1. They were the 7th game on the list at 1 o'clock.
Man, listen, they was
Colt McCoy and the Browns.
Actually, that year they had a couple. They
were all right.
They played. They were interested to beat the Patriots. Peyton Hillis was a
beat
fun,
Drew Brees.
Yeah, beat Drew Brees, man. Listen, we'll make
Peyton Hillis. Is he by far the worst player ever on the Madden cover?
Sean Alexander fell off after he was on it.
Yeah, but he was a better player overall.
Oh,
By the way, Sean Alexander was on 2 covers. He was on NCAA and Madden. That's kind of tough.
Is he the worst player on the cover?
Yes.
Because he had one good season in his entire career.
I think he might be.
But that year, he was
Cold Pepper,
at that year
Marshall
he
Falk,
was nice.
Vic, Ray Lewis, Donovan McNabb.
I used to be able to remember all of them.
Who was on those set? Who was on those
I
set?
stood in
Drew
line.
Brees.
No, it was Drew. No, it was Drew Brees.
Drew Brees was on it.
No, it
Brett
was,
Favre was
Vince
on it.
Young was
Vince
on
Young
one.
was on it.
Was Brett Favre ripping people off that year?
No,
Brett Favre was
he
the
was
first.
still
I think he was the
legit.
first one that they had to come out with a new cover because he started on the Packers and then they. I think they had to get a Jets one or something like that. I think
By
he
the way-
might be.
by the
I
way-
think Hillis might be the worst one.
I want to throw this out, man. Listen, hit me up, man. If you watch it out there, listen. NCAA football is coming out. They just did a deep dive on the dynasty. Your boy G.
See, they
Bush.
they gonna update the stickers on the helmet.
Yeah, your boy
Are you
G.
going to
Bush.
be back in the game?
I'm
Is
ba-
Tyvus back in the game? Can you go through every year?
No, they're done. We're finished. Yeah, I could go back. I got the old game, 02, 03.
Were you happy with your grades back in the day or no?
No, Madden.
Yeah.
No, college.
I was only on the last
No,
one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I was a freshman.
Yeah,
So, I came
it
in like
was
50.
Crazy.
What about your
Yeah.
Madden grades?
I overall was terrible, but my speed was 93. So
That's
you
good speed.
Yeah, you can
That's
put me
crazy.
in. Put me in.
But as I was saying, G. Bush 91.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a nice dynasty, multiple dynasty online.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
We pick a team, we do a dynasty.
You
we
build
recruit,
your own,
build your
yeah.
own team. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for a dynasty. I'm on PS5. I switched over from Xbox.
What's your gamer tag? I got a PS5.
Oh, we good then. To G. Bush 91. G. Bush 91.
I'm about to add it right now.
And it's either G. Bush 91, which it could be that one, or it's G. Bush 9501.
You
Hit me
don't
up.
know which one it is?
Nah.
What's wrong with you?
I just got the PS5.
I got a question for y'all.
Earl
A
don't
statement
never
and a
be
question.
on. So
Go ahead, Earl.
So, it's funny, Tyvus, you've been retired for what, 4 years?
Has it been that long? It feels like
It
feel
sounds
longer
funny
than
to
that.
hear.
It
Say
feels
Tyvus is
longer than
retired.
that. You say
So the
G.
point I'm
Bush
getting
what?
to-
9501.
He's been retired 4 years, so before that he was a player. I've only been doing this 4 years.
Yeah.
I was a fan. And so I've never really covered Cleveland sports outside of the realm that I cover it in now. Like, I used to listen to you and Dustin on the radio. I used to be a season ticket holder for the Cleveland Browns when they was 1-15 and 0-16.
Yeah.
When we look at where all three teams are right now today, within the next 5 years, do you see a championship parade, no matter who is by, being held in this city?
5 years from now, do I see
Within the
one?
next 5 years, from
Yeah.
now
I
to
think-
29.
I think it's possible for all three. I don't know that it's overly likely for all three. I don't know.
The sad thing is, man. The sad thing is yeah, but it's like one or two guys that got to take a next step for me to actually see it. To me right now, I think the Browns got a really good chance when you look at their roster. But I got to see Deshaun be Deshaun again. Like
If
that.
you had to, yes.
Then for the Cavs, I got to see Evan be this guy, and then for the Guardians probably got the best chance as of today.
If I had to bet today, I'd bet Guardians 1, Browns 2, and Cavs definitely 3.
Listen,
I think I may be in that same boat.
and I got Guardians by a long shot. Too.
Yeah, because like
Really? I'm surprised by
I
that.
got Guardians by
because it.
we were talking about the other day. Like
Baseball's more random.
all you got to do is just get in.
And part of the reason for the Browns is just so how loaded the AFC is.
it's one guy.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean, it's mostly Mahomes, but there's other guys too.
I got to envision most likely you on the road winning an Arrowhead.
Right.
That's so crazy.
And the reason you got to win on the road is because the AFC North is so tough that
like-
you're unlikely to have the best record in the AFC. And the Chiefs division is not that good right now. Maybe the Chargers will get better with Harbaugh, but
that's the only
I
thing
feel like
that
the
holds
Raiders
me back.
is going to be pretty good.
they're going to be all right.
Who's their court? Is Gardner Minshew the starter?
Supposedly, I don't know. I don't know that it's definite.
I think they're going to be. I think they'll be a playoff team.
You know what I would do if I was the Raiders? I would trade 3 first-round picks for Dak Prescott.
For what? He going to be a free agent next year.
I'd trade 3 first-round picks for him.
I
You
would.
think they're a quarterback away? Who they running back? They got rid of Josh Jacobs. Who they got now?
I have no idea who they're.
They got a lot of questions.
But
But they got Devontae Adams.
He's old. Well, he still had a great year.
I like
Who's the Raiders running back?
I feel like they picked somebody else. Or they had some young dude.
If I was, I would.
I need to know this for fantasy because I'm
Or
gonna
if I
pick him
was
up.
a Dolphins, if I was a Dolphins and I wasn't gonna sign Tua, I would trade Tua for Dak Prescott.
Their starting
What's with
running
you and
back
Dak?
is Zamir White.
I'm drafting him.
He was a 4th-round pick in 2022.
And
I'm drafting him in
was,
fantasy.
He was balling.
And then their backup is Alexander Madison, who they signed from Minnesota, and he sucked last year.
You know they beat the Chiefs kind of bad at Kansas City last year.
Yeah, they did.
They smoked them kind of bad.
And that
Yeah.
D line for them is one of the
it's
top
nice.
in the league.
But
It's nice.
I think after what happened last year, it almost feels a little hopeless against Kansas City. I know it's not,
What do you mean?
because last year was the first time
They didn't have
where they
nobody.
looked vulnerable.
And they didn't
You're
have-
like, somebody's going to beat them this year. They didn't play that well in the regular
will
season,
tell you-
and they still won it
What I
all.
will tell you is, in this game of football, injuries are 100%.
Listen, I'm
And
not
it's-
saying
it's-
that.
It's bound
It
to
just-
happen.
it-
It's
it
gonna
feels
happen. It
harder
is what
now
it is.
than ever
It's
before.
gonna happen, and it's gonna be when everybody least expects
Are
it to
you
happen.
saying-
And when it does,
Are you
it's
predicting
done.
an injury?
I ain't,
For Patrick-
all I'm
for
telling
Patrick-
you,
one
all I'm
Patrick
telling,
Mahomes?
all I'm telling you is that injuries in the NFL is 100%. It's
But
100%
Tyvus,
going
if you're
to
looking
happen.
for a Patrick Mahomes injury to be the way to
I'm not saying
Okay,
it.
you
I,
get
didn't,
past
I
it.
didn't say him. I just said injuries is 100%.
But you know what's so crazy?
For anybody in the league.
This is messed up. This is messed up. Fan bases would be like, "That is, I'm so sorry, you never want to see it." But Bengals fans would be like, "We got a shot." Ravens fans will be like, "We got a shot."
100%.
Browns fans will be like, "We got a shot." Everybody would look around like, "We got a shot."
I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying injuries are 100%. And when as you get older,
Yeah,
you
you
start
never
getting
know.
hurt
He's
more.
still pretty young,
Didn't
though.
Kelsey get hurt like twice last year?
He didn't look the same. He's getting older. Like
Yep.
I just, you know.
That's going to be interesting when Kelsey's finally done. Because nothing else has mattered from all. They lost Tyreek Hill. And it's been and Jay especially went on and on about it last year during the regular season. It didn't matter. They won 2 Super Bowls without maybe the best receiver in football.
That's the problem I got. And the Cavs, the thing that I got with the Cavs, why they gotta.
They just short.
It's the air. So a lot of it has to do with who you playing against. Think about it. There was a lot of good teams.
If they would have just won that last game.
In the Eastern Conference, LeBron went to 9 straight.
Yeah.
Think of how many good teams came and went. They just couldn't. Now you got the Celtics, right?
Just think of the Cavs.
Their guys are
won.
26 years old. That's the problem I have with the theory of just waiting and let people get better. I said, so you think
How old is
that-
Donovan?
older than Tatum and Brown? You see, that sucks.
Is
They're
he that
young
much-
and good, and
He can't be
Yeah.
that
the
much
best
older
2
than them.
positions they are loaded at, right? So that's why it all depends. That's why you got to have Evan Mobley, and people be thinking I just be.
He 27. He'll be 28 this
They'll be
year.
like, G. Bush, you're just always talking about Imani Bates and these other guys. I said, bro, that's the way the NBA works. The Bulls didn't get nowhere until they figured out that I need Scottie Pippen.
Gee.
You got to develop that.
All they had to do was win the last game of the regular season.
Who?
The Cavs.
And then who would they would have played?
They would have played a bunch of injured teams in the playoffs.
Who would they played if they would have played when they played the
Pacers.
Injured. Tyrese Halliburton.
he didn't get
Pacers
injured till
won their
late.
first series.
They won their first series
Did
against
they?
the Bucks. Yeah.
No, they wouldn't have played the Pacers. They would have been in the Pacers spot.
Oh, you're right.
Then they would have played the Bucks.
Injured Giannis.
That's true. And then they would have played the injured Knicks.
Then they played the injured Knicks.
They wouldn't beat them injured Knicks.
You need to cut it out.
Them injured Knicks was like do you see what them injured Knicks was like? I'm not just putting the cape on for the Knicks,
Yeah.
but the Knicks play hard.
All
And
right.
they played.
In hindsight, they should have won the last game.
You got any super chats there, Earl?
Yeah, we do. We got a couple of them. The
you got?
first one comes from Wood Dog 50, who is celebrating his 40th birthday today.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
Watching UCSS with no interruptions.
Nice.
I hope this is the year that the Guards get the World Series. I hope Williams have 14 Ks tonight and the Browns win the Super Bowl. Go UCSS. Wood Dog, happy 40th birthday, my
You
man.
put that on a
Happy
parlay.
birthday.
You put 14 strikeouts on a parlay. It probably paid
Don't
crazy.
do that.
Hey,
There's
Tyvus,
no
we
chance
doing
you're
that?
gonna
What's
strike
up?
out 14.
You want to do a parlay?
Let's do it.
For the game tonight?
No,
Yeah,
don't
let's do
do
it.
14 strikeouts.
No, we're not
He's
doing
gonna
that.
pitch long enough to get 14
Oh,
strikeouts.
yeah, no, I'm not doing
I would put the over under 6.
No, I think it's 4.5.
Is it 4.5?
Let
That
me-
I
hold
bet
on.
the over on
Wait a
that.
minute. Let me look right quick.
Even-
Go ahead, Earl, with the next one.
Yeah.
All right, Mikey McGee sent a super chat saying Jersey Shore is also on MTV.
No, I did do. Let me fact check myself. The fact check said in 2021,
It is 4.5.
2021, it was on a loop for nearly 24 hours. Now it's 50% of their content.
Anybody watch Jersey Shore?
No.
No.
Ridiculousness is 50% of their content,
to
according
stop.
to
They-
Google.
some people must watch Jersey Shore, right?
I mean, they keep putting it on. Is there no new good shows anymore?
No.
There's a lot of great shows, but nobody's
But
watching
they all
that
like
stupid
reality, like, fly your ex out and see if you still
There's
got
a lot
feelings
of
for it.
great
Like,
shows,
what
but
is
they're
this?
not on things like MTV.
What is this? The perfect match and
That's funny.
you got a comp.
I don't
What
watch
is
any of
it?
that
What
crap.
all
Fly
that
your
BS?
Live marriages and all
Yeah,
that.
what is
Fly
that?
your
I
ex
seen
out
something
and see
about
if you got
something
I don't watch any. You guys watch
about.
any reality TV show?
No, I don't watch TV. I watch sports.
You don't
Sports.
watch
we got
any-
more.
What are you talking about?
Just
You watch
watch-
TV. We talk about TV shows all the time.
No, I don't. That's not a TV show.
Snowfall?
That's not a TV.
Snowfall?
That I watch that on Hulu.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's a TV show. What do you mean?
Okay, I watch one show. I watch Power every Friday. That's it.
That's it. And Snowfall, which is done.
That's done. Go ahead.
What'd you,
by
anybody
brick.
watch anything interesting?
Our
last
Mac
night?
Dog says,
Oh,
does the
sorry.
panel agree that the Browns are a receiver away, Cavs are stretched 3 away, and the Guardians are a hitter and pitcher away from all winning the championship?
A receiver away.
But how? The Cavs one would be the hardest to get, though.
Is the Browns just a receiver away?
I don't feel no.
I mean,
The Browns are a Deshaun Watson
Yeah, I agree.
away.
Yeah.
In other words, if we get Deshaun Watson that we thought we were getting, they can win the Super Bowl.
Michael
That's that
Ribovich
simple.
says he loves the shirt by Tyvis. Dude not trying to throw at the end of the game sums up the White Sox season. I think he's talking about that last throw to home plate. He also sent another super chat. 3333333 with a emoji.
Shout out Mikey McNuggets.
That's another Drake. That's another shot at Drake. Right there.
Oh, that's Drake. That's not Mikey McNuggets.
No, that and
No,
there's
no,
more confetti.
McNuggets is the one that said that. He was like, who was he talking
Three,
about?
three. I'm like,
He's back
Talking about the dude that was batting, 3.333.
Yeah, that was the McNuggets thing.
Yeah, it was like, what is that?
What does that have to do with the fight?
He was just saying.
He was just saying, like he just brought it back.
Speaking of fights, make sure y'all watch my boy Mason Abdullah fight this Saturday.
Okay. Oh, speaking of, hey, listen.
Are you talking about 19-year-old Mason?
Come on now, hey. Mason
Hey.
Abdullah be knocking
Hey,
people smooth
listen.
out too.
Listen, earlier this week, we talked about the kid from Akron that got drafted by the Pacers from Cleveland. This kid right here, Tyvis, is talking about, man, you're a knockout king.
Mason,
from Akron?
He from Cleveland.
He's
Yeah.
from Cleveland.
Mason Abdullah. He fight
And
on Top Rank. I think he fight at 8:30 on Saturday. It's actually a good card. Shakur Stevens fights. My boy Keyshawn Davis fight.
still
And
love
Mason
boxing.
Abdullah fight.
Hey, is Joe Tessitore still on there? He's one of the best. By the way, hey, if you didn't know, I just caught it late last night. The Summer League champions, the Cleveland Cavaliers, is lining up ready to go.
They play the Lakers.
Yes, Imani Bates has a new video out showing his progress over the offseason.
Oh boy.
He's not missing now. He's not. He got 3 new badges. He got the instant shake badge. He got the dribble pull up badge. Listen, right now he's not missing. Right now, I'm telling you right now. Go check it out.
You know who you working out with?
Who's that?
MJ Emerson.
Yeah, their hair getting long together too.
I
Long hair
wouldn't
don't
say
care.
all that. He going to the wrong stylist. His hair going the wrong direction. But, you know, if you want to be great in the city of Cleveland as an athlete, all you got to do is train with MJ Emerson, and then your career take off into heights that you never thought it would.
There it is.
Would you trade?
Technically, that's a lie
would
because
you
if
trade
you
MJ Emerson for Justin Jefferson? I'm just combining the two names.
Would I trade MJ for Justin Jefferson?
You know they're clipping this.
let me ask you this, because that's funny that you say that. You said that when you train with MJ Emerson, you know, you get better. Do you know who MJ Emerson trained with this offseason?
type of spot.
No, he didn't. But if he did, he'd probably be all pro.
The route god.
No. He trained with what is weird? You worse than Steve. He trained with Denzel Ward this offseason.
Oh, so smart.
Yeah. So there you go.
Second thing was
So if
Denzel Washington.
if he gets the bag, should Denzel get like 2%?
No.
Why not?
Like, that's just like being
Put him on.
Do you give Sherm 10%?
Why would I do that?
I don't get G 2%.
Damn.
More, like,
LeBron.
Whoa, Sherm ain't putting me on. What's wrong with you?
By the way,
he just
LeBron,
got that.
By the way, LeBron re-signed with the Lakers officially today.
I didn't see
2
that.
years, $104 million.
And-
1-1.
and-
Nobody wanted to. He didn't leave nothing on the table because nobody wanted to play there.
And he made them give him Bronny that allowance, guaranteed.
That's where the pay cut went.
He did this to
We'll
JJ.
see you coming up on Overtime on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. What are we talking about on Overtime? You'll find
Barbecue,
out.
4th of July.
Oh, yeah. I just,
talking?
yeah,